Shall we get started then?
Nah.
Nah.
Then Cthulhu wins.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Not if I get a tank.
Let's go on vacation, guys.
You
You
cannot
got-
defeat an elder god with a tank. We've established this.
We haven't.
Try.
You can try, and then if I get the mobile artillery that's technically in the rules book,
Yes, but you'd go insane trying to look at your target. Anyways, let's introduce
it's
ourselves
insane
to...
try. So kind of an invalid argument.
I mean, you don't really need to look at the target when you've got artillery.
No, you just need to fire in the general vicinity.
General.
This is the 1920s. How are you going to know where you're firing at?
Fire everywhere that isn't where you are.
Yeah.
And thus the world was destroyed by Connor.
The piss poor pilot that's smuggling moonshine on the border from Canada.
We'll go through character introductions then. So, starting with Zelly.
I am Marcus Smith, an author that isn't very good at authoring.
And also at speaking, apparently.
Words are not my strong suit, despite being an author.
Okay. Connor, go for you.
My name is
Try and beat that
Lazarus
intro.
Dale, and I'm, flunked out of school and decided my career would be smuggling whiskey into the States.
You have a plane as well, which you're hiding at the next character's farm. Debbie?
Yes.
And you're dating. And you're dating.
My 16-year-old sister.
They worked very hard to get these characters connected.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Debbie,
Well, to be-
you're up.
to-
Character introduction.
Hi, I'm Farmer Debbie Bunyan. I grow green beans and corn primarily. Connor's hiding his plane in my garage. And
You mean warehouse,
I'm very...
presumably.
Huh?
You mean
What?
warehouse, presumably. This is a very small plane.
Yeah.
Well, my warehouse, yes. My warehouse slash garage. And I'm a glamazon. So
Glamazon?
look out. Yes.
Well, refers to herself as a glamazon. Fair enough then.
You got to be stylish in the 1920s, Mara.
Yeah, especially when I'm farming green beans.
Alright.
Okay, yeah, well,
These-
the way
these-
you're going now, we're going to find out that Debbie's character was the inventor of the vajazzle.
This could be true.
Her size 15 boots were made for walking, Mara.
Snoopy.
My name is Benny Fitz, and I am a soldier, or at least an ex-soldier.
Very
Not
well.
a very good soldier because he's poor as hell.
Private Fitz!
Who's Private Pitt?
Fitz. Benny Fitz.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Oh, I misheard that.
Dylan, bring some sensible characters back into this.
Alright. I'm Howard Walker. I ran away from England after some domestic disputes, and I'm now living out in Boston, working at the hospital. I'm a master doctor with two degrees in both medicine and biology. And I'm affiliated with the group because I know Lazarus, because I helped fix him up when he got into some trouble, and now he smuggles me alcohol for both medicinal and personal use.
Whiskey, you mean, anyway.
Got into some trouble. 90% of his body was shot, and he now has the constitution of half a baby.
He does apparently. He has a really low health score. Almost as low as Lazarus's.
Indeed.
And that leads us on to Marijan.
Hello, I'm going to be playing the character of Jim McDogherty. He's not the brightest chap, but he's had a bloody good education and years of experience, leaving him very capable when it comes to his chosen profession of mechanics and engineering, and also pretty damn good behind the wheel of a car.
You're our getaway driver.
Yes, I'm probably the getaway driver. Oh my god, it's Cthulhu! Quick, drive!
You think
Stop
about
getting
it,
pulled on my car.
Given this is 1921, we're not likely to be going for like a 200 mile an hour speed race.
I don't know about that necessarily.
Considering
It's
I
more
own an
like-
Austin 12, I'd be lucky to cap out 100.
Maybe 70 miles an hour.
70 mile an hour is about the limit of an Austin 12, yes.
Cthulhu has got tentacles, and we've all seen it, and so I don't know where that's going.
And do you have your awesome car, Marcus? Did we decide that in the end?
I do have my awesome car.
Right. you
It
can drive
hasn't
it.
actually been invented by this point in time.
Shh. We're being non-strict with this, kind of. It's still 1920s.
I did research my equipment.
He did, with quite
Yeah.
frightening obsessiveness.
It really
Yeah.
was kind of obsessive. You put a lot more work into historical accuracy than I have at this point.
I worked out what sort of flashlights are available at the time.
Why?
gave myself a tungsten
Even
field
after
lamp.
Shadow said you don't really need to be historically accurate, you spent half an hour trying to be historically accurate.
You could have just said a
Hey,
flashlight.
it's committed to his character. I quite like that. So anyway,
Historically correct.
Howard Hawker,
Uh-huh.
you receive a message from one of your old university friends, a Mr. Michael Smith. He didn't pass any of the exams he went into, and you basically kept in touch over the years, and he's become fairly large in the state property markets. He writes you a letter basically explaining that he needs some help with a problem he's got with one of his properties. He would like you and any friends who would like to earn $100 to come over to see him as soon as possible.
Okay.
The lure of $100 being what it is, all 6 of you have arrived at his house.
Despite the fact
Well,
that
I
I
was-
clearly
oh,
earned
okay, we just
significantly
doing
more than that.
Well,
I
it's
was
getting
going to
you.
assume I went ahead and approached Lazarus. That's his name. I went ahead and approached Lazarus because knowing what he's sort of into, I imagine he'd be able to get together quite a few people to help out.
Well, this being the case, I just wanted to get all of you into the room right at the start so we could actually start the session rather than spend half an hour mucking about trying to get the session started. This is not paranoia,
Right,
folks.
right.
You know we'd never end up getting there.
Well, no, if we were playing paranoia, there's no way we'd get there. I spent half a session dragging this out, but
Well, I'm gonna show up because I'm interested in more farmland to store my tractor.
you can't buy farmland for $100 each. They don't sell it.
Yeah.
Screw your tractor. I've got a plane.
I'm
Oh, a tractor?
You can't fly the plane to his house.
Fly into his house.
yeah. From what we've heard of you, I'm gonna show up because I cannot convince my sister to let go of this disgusting slump of a human being. So I'm going to accompany him and try and see what type of person he is.
Well,
Grudgingly.
somebody who will do anything for $100, maybe.
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah. But anyway, so you're in the living room of the house of the about 40-year-old Michael Smith. He's looking a bit older than his years at this point and is a little distressed by the situation. But anyway, he greets you, invites you to sit down in his living room, and he explains the situation to you as such. I acquired a property about 2 years ago. It's he explains to you where it is. He doesn't actually say on this, which is annoying. Annoying.
Somewhere in Boston.
But it was too cheap for me to pass up the opportunity of. There were rumours of a family going mad about 5 years ago in it, but you know what they're like. Anything to try and drive up or down the prices. I know the game well enough. But well, you see, the last 2 or 3 tenants I've tried to put up in there have all complained and all left within the space a week of them moving in. It's rather distressing, actually. So what I'd like you to do is to basically find out what the problem is with the place. And, if possible, sort it out so I can rent it out again. Otherwise I'm going to be losing money on the property, you see.
Anything to have an old friend, Michael.
I can pay you $20 a day each, and 100 once it's definitely solved.
100 each?
Okay.
Yes, 100 each.
What about 150?
Make a persuade check, please.
That's what
If you're going to try and persuade him to 150, that's probably...
There's also a bargaining skill with that, would be?
It could be. Depends on...
Okay, yeah, someone's got the.
You're not trying it. Your persuade skill is by default 15%.
5%.
Well, it should be 15%, but yeah.
It is 15 by default. Yeah.
You shorted me. Yeah, 15.
Yeah.
It also says 15 as well.
Yep.
Okay,
I didn't.
what's your roll?
know.
I don't know what I'm new to this.
D100.
D100, unless, let's just say otherwise, most rolls are D100.
Okay, 1 second.
And you're trying to get...
Any sort of skill check will be a D100 because
Yeah.
it's 90.
Even stat checks in this game are D100, but normally there's a times modifier, which you're rolling to. So, for example, you'll be something like a strength check times 3. So you've got to roll below 3 times your strength score. But in this case, it's persuade roll 15%.
So we're gonna roll D100, yeah?
Yep, D100. No modifiers.
35.
45 was that?
35, yeah.
35. Look, it's already costing me an arm and a leg. I can't afford to pay you any more than this.
No, old chap. I think you'll find that this is difficult work, and that is a reasonable price.
No. $100 is a deal here. Otherwise, I'll get some other people to deal with it. Just so you know, the persuade roll has been made. This is 1920s. It is $100.
Damn.
$100. Take it, man.
Damn you, Snoopy.
Take it.
I have 85 persuade.
This is why I'm
Yes, but he tried to persuade first.
Okay, I guess I have to accept it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. What I can do though is I can give
100
you
does be
50.
fine.
I give you $50 in advance. He puts $50 on the table, as well as the keys, and he also has a note with the address on it. I've done a little looking into this myself, and it seems, at least from my perspective, the trouble started with the Macario family, who moved into the house sometime around 1918. Apparently,
Did they ever move out?
Well, yes, they did move out, of course. Otherwise, my tenants couldn't have got in. This is before I owned the property. But apparently, the father had a serious accident, and shortly afterwards went violent, and is now in a sanatorium somewhere. The wife was also committed, babbling insane by all accounts. I don't know what's happened to the 2 children they had, but apparently, as far as I can tell, that's when it all started. I'm sorry I couldn't find any more information out on that, but it might help you to find some. It might help you to find out why or what caused the problems with them. I don't know. I'm sorry I can't be too much more help.
You said they both went insane?
Well, the father went violent, and the wife certainly went insane, and I believe they're both in a sanatorium on this outside of town, which you might be able to find out.
What did you say their surname was again?
Macario.
Can we trust that my guy has knowledge of where this is?
From what he sort of described, there can only be one that he's talking about. Let me just find the name of it.
I was born in this location as well, so I have a decent understanding.
After a quick back and forth, you realise he's talking about the Roxbury Sanatorium, which is a few miles outside of Boston.
So their children died, and the adults went insane.
Oh no! I didn't find out what happened to the children. They might be in care, or I don't know what happened.
Living in Kansas.
Well, I'd hope they're in care, but I actually couldn't find out what happened to them.
And did you say they became your tenants around 18?
Oh no! This is beforehand. No, I've had tenants from. I only owned the property since last year, but all 3 families I've put in there have all left within a week, and The last one in particular has made me look into the problem a little more.
Make your mind up, man. You said you'd bought it 2 years ago, now you've only owned it a year.
Silence! I forgot what year we said this in, but yes, 1921, so yeah.
So, is there any way that we can contact your former tenants, or did they leave any sort of written reports about the incidents?
They made it quite clear they don't want anything to do with me anymore.
Did they tell you the nature of the complaint? Or did you they expand on it?
Well, the first one just up and left one evening when I went to collect rent. The house was gone. They were gone long since. I couldn't even find out where they went to.
Wait a minute, what does the fence the house was gone?
Sorry?
The house was gone?
No, the tenants were gone. They'd left.
The second set of tenants.
Were they not, like, can you not get the police off them for just disappearing?
Well, I couldn't really do a lot. I mean, they just up and left. There were
What
no
was
police
their
reports,
last
no
name?
missing people. They just left.
Okay.
And what was their name?
It's not recorded in the book, so...
You
it gives you a
house
name, but it's not...
without knowing who?
I'm running this from a campaign module, I'll have you know, and it doesn't have those names listed.
He
Excuse me, sir, what
gave
were
us
the
the
names?
keys to the apartment, didn't he?
He's given you the keys to the place, yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, but what were the names of the two people that went mad?
Those were the Macario families. Gabriella and... I don't have the name of the... I can't remember the name of the father, I'm afraid.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't be expected to know. They weren't your tenants.
It's only what I found out looking into the case. All I know is the father went mad and violent, and the woman just went mad.
Is that everything then?
Well, I can't think of anything else, unless you've got any further questions, I suppose.
I have a question. You said you had 3 sets of tenants, was it, since you've had the house?
Yes, all this year and all left within a week.
Okay, you said the first left without saying anything. What about the second and the third?
Oh, they just said it was wrong, wasn't for them.
And the third one was quite loud.
The third one was quite angry at me for selling it to them.
Yeah, I imagine the property value is plummeting on that.
Well, it was really cheap when I bought it, but at the moment it's just a dead weight. I need to do
Well-
something with it.
When we do finish this, at least the demand for the property is quite high. I mean, 3 tenants in the space of almost a year? Bloody hell. It's a desirable property, that is.
I would assume
Well,
you'd be
it's-
living in
I
this
would-
house for a week then.
Less than a week, probably. About a week at the most. I don't know when the first family actually left.
So you're paying us to investigate, possibly live there?
Investigate,
Yes.
find out what was wrong with the place, and if possible, solve it.
Alright
At least if I know what the problem is, I can work to solving it.
Would you cover expenses like food?
He points to the $50 he's put on the table as an advance. You'll be paid $20 a day for your expenses.
Thank you.
Well, boys,
Which is quite extreme for this time period.
Yeah. A cup of coffee is like 10 cents.
Well, yeah, but if you look at the prices of the stuff in the book, it's relatively adjusted.
I will let someone else manage money because I'm terrible.
I'll take the 50
Nice.
then.
No,
You've only-
good God,
you've-
don't get it.
you've
Don't
wait,
don't
Who's
give
the
it to
person?
him.
Who's the person that you know, Snoopy?
What's wrong with me?
Who's the person that you have a link to in this group, Snoopy?
I don't think I established that because I kind of left because I was tired the week before.
Well, no worries. You know them now.
Yeah,
You could even just be no Michael Smith, to be honest.
Or maybe just a nosy body off the street.
All things considered, given your average sort of level of money and the fact that you're clearly like an out-of-work soldier, you're probably just looking for work.
Yeah.
Tired gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's everything then. Shall we be off?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Who's got the keys?
Does anyone know the address to the house?
Yeah, the address
I-
was given to you.
I take the keys and throw them at Lazarus.
I'm going to catch the keys.
And
Very
then
well.
I walk past them, punch him in the arm, and say, "Don't steal those."
So, who's driving, or do we want to go on my tractor?
Bonding.
Someone taking the money, or is it we just?
I
leave?
think everyone's taken.
Yeah, it's
Connor.
just like divvied
Well,
up
there was a
among us.
$50
That-
advance on
50
what
for
you're going to be
everyone.
paid. So
Everyone.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we
it's 50
each
for
got
everyone.
10
So add it to your cash on hand by the.
Oh, it was 50 for everyone, was it?
Yeah.
No, it was just
well,
$50. That was your advance for.
Oh, so it wasn't
Oh.
everyone.
It wasn't each. Just to point out, the
Okay.
money you're getting
There's
paid
five
eventually
of us.
will be, but this is just $50 for.
Well, I already adjusted my cash on hand, so I guess I picked it up.
Fair enough.
All right.
I do expect some money.
Very well, Marcus Smith has collected.
Yeah, Marcus Smith has collected from Michael Smith.
Okay, so you're outside the house in whatever. What are you going to do from here?
Well,
Right, well,
what do you
I
think we
imagine
should do, Lazarus?
Does anyone have a car?
Yes, I have a car.
Perhaps we could ride in that, because walking would probably take a while.
We have my
I can't.
tractor.
I can't fit all 5 of you in one car.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? We should have seen if
Shouldn't
the
we-
place was
shouldn't
actually
we-
furnished.
Shouldn't we pick a location before we decide transport? I mean, it could just be down the road. Personally, I think we should go and scope out the place, see what we can feel from it. If they're all noticing it within a week, it's possible that we'll notice what's happening and be over with this in a day.
Well, it
And then
could
we
be
can-
possible that the
Then we can just spend 3 days loitering around, so we get paid at $20 per day and cash it in on the 4th.
I'm just
lazy.
protection, so I
But
will.
we don't get our 100 if we don't find the reason.
If we find it day 1, and then we wait 3 days, we get paid $20 in each of them 3 days when we've already got the answer.
Or
We
could
just
wait a
cash
week.
that in whenever.
They did say they didn't last a week. I'd say we probably have to stay there for a week, $20 a day.
well, look,
There's
I-
a lot of things we can do in a day.
we'd quite want to get some like supplies in there, like I don't know, like sling bags or something. But I don't know if the place is already furnished or not. So I suppose we better just check it out first.
Possible.
That would
Well-
make sense. Yeah.
All right.
And
fair
Jim,
enough. Fair enough.
Jim, as for fitting people into your car, we could put him. I glare over at Marcus in the trunk.
In the boot.
It's well, my character isn't from England, so
No, only one of you is, as far
all
as I'm
my
aware.
car and I am from England. My character is not, therefore he would probably refer to it as a
Well,
trunk.
Cecily,
not
don't
the-
you
My
have a car?
character is
Didn't you
from
have a
England.
Merc as part of your equipment as well? So don't
Yeah,
you have a car?
I
Sally has the
do.
car.
I have a car. It's
Yeah,
probably,
so you have 2 cars.
So you can all get in his car and I'll get in my car.
I'm fairly good.
I look at Lazarus and I scowl. Very humorous.
And in those days, the trunk would have been in the front of the car, not the back.
Depends on the car.
Yeah.
I have no idea if my car even has storage.
It will have.
Okay, so you're heading off to the house then.
I'm gonna head off and where
Yeah.
Carl Lazarus goes then.
How far is it from where we are?
Not too far. It only takes you about 15 minutes driving.
Okay.
Let me just find the description for you.
I can barely put boots on my feet. You guys have got bloody cars.
Yeah.
And already in the first 3 words is a contradiction. But we'll ignore that. You see a brick bungalow, even though it's got 2 levels.
What?
It's got a ground and an upper story, but it's apparently a brick bungalow. It's overshadowed by newer, taller office buildings on either side. The house fronts the street, and in the rear are overgrown plantings and a half-collapsed arbour. Access to the rear exists on either side of the residence. Studying the house, you're impressed by the way the house seems to withdraw into shadows cast by the flanking buildings, and how the blank curtained windows hide all understanding of what lies within.
I have to say, I don't really understand why so many people have tried to live in this house. Don't-
I mean, I can understand why it was sold so cheap at this point.
Yeah, I agree on that. Look at this.
Well,
place.
I don't know. It seems pretty
It's very nice.
handy for if you're working in the offices.
I suppose. Could be the location.
To me,
Can I
it
have a
smacks-
spot hidden roll from everyone?
Spot hidden roll.
I got a happy AFK for a couple of minutes, but I'll be back.
Alright.
We're rolling a
63.
We're
Just
rolling
let me
a
know
D100.
let me know what you got
hidden?
and whether it's a pass for you.
And then, what are we rolling it against?
Spot hidden, D100. Tell me whether you get below or above your score. If you get below, it's a pass.
I got below.
Oh, I got over.
Just tell me what you got and whether it was a pass, please.
I got
8-4
16.
fail.
I don't know how to work that out. I got a 60. Got a 73.
I've definitely failed.
Okay. A 63 for your character would be. Where's your spot hidden?
I got a 73. Sorry, what's this? Stupid?
Yep.
I got a.
That's
you need
still
to-
that is
yeah.
that
I
is a
got a
fail.
4.
You need 25 if you don't have any skill in it, or lower.
Have you got your character sheet up, Snoopy?
Yeah, I've got.
Because you see... Oh, and saying, do you see like the percentages in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, all you need to see is if on the D100 you roll that number or lower, it's a pass, basically.
Okay, because I've got a 40.
Oh, wait, that number or lower?
Yeah, that number or lower is a pass.
Oh, so I got a 4, so that means I did pass, didn't I?
Put a check, Connor, against your skill in that one, as well as what did you get, Dylan?
I got 16.
Yeah, put a check for you as well.
Alright. So I did pass.
The two of you both noticed that all of the windows appear to be boarded up and nailed from the inside.
This is really
The rest of you
trying
just
to do
noticed that the house is boarded up.
I'll just note this down.
I'm noting it too.
Are you going to
Alright,
share
now
that
this
revelation?
this seems rather odd. If you actually look at the windows carefully, you'll see that they've been boarded up from the inside.
Yeah, I
It's
noticed
just
the
that-
same thing.
I mean,
didn't
you wouldn't
mention-
generally do that when it's in disrepair, and there was a family living there just, I assume, not
Not long
Not
ago.
long ago,
I mean,
according
he
to
did mention a
Michael.
couple of months ago was the last family.
Is there a way that we can do
This-
like a perception check after we find this information, or is there no
Well,
point?
he's told you now anyway, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But if I ask for spot hidden, that's basically perception, unless you're trying to look for something.
Yeah, I'm trying to look if it's like been recently lived in, like if there's any candles or anything on that we can see.
Candles on after 3 months. Okay.
It's one heck of
Oh,
a
well-
candle.
He didn't mention that it was
Well, sure.
boarded up from the inside, so I assume that
No, he
someone could be
didn't.
living there right now.
Not from the outside of the house.
Alright, well, I suppose you better lead the way, Marcus. You take the keys after all.
No, I didn't. Lazarus has it.
I have the keys.
Oh yeah, I've got the fruit. So.
Oh, well.
Alright. I'll lead the way in.
Okay.
I'm gonna-
We're
you
sending
go-
the
who's unlocking
paperweight
the
through
front
the
door?
door. Yes.
I am. Lazarus.
Okay. You hear a click, and as you move to open the door, you realise that there are that have been bolts added to the back of it. It's only shifted a small way. You can count 4 additional bolts have been applied to the front door.
The hell? They
From
put
the
bolts
inside?
on the door.
From the inside?
From the inside.
From your
Wait, no,
you,
wait.
you know from just the look at them and how they haven't rusted that they must have been added within the last year or two.
These are relatively new as well.
Yes, these are relatively new.
Why aren't you going in?
Because I just told you, they put bolts on the inside of the house. The door will not open.
Okay. They put. You mean like the things that you draw across, or they
Yep,
they
those.
hammered in the door? Oh, okay.
That would be a nail, Zoe. A bolt threads through something and then you put a knot on the
Yeah,
end of
the,
it.
the lock did open. You had
If
the-
you can
the
see
key
enough
works,
to actually
but-
see the bolt, could you break it for us? You got the right tool?
I don't
Is there
think
another
Lazarus
way?
could break it.
Is there a back door?
I do not believe I have the right tool to break it.
Are you
I'm
going
fairly
to
sure
search around the
Lazarus
side of
couldn't
the house
break
then?
wind without hurting himself.
Before we break stuff, should we see if there's another entrance?
Yes,
Yeah.
to me, I was just currently thinking, why on earth aren't we going to the rear entrance?
Well, yeah, there should be a back door.
Okay.
And they must have got out somehow.
As you go round to the side, you notice there is another smaller side door around the back of the right-hand side of the house.
Try this one. Try the gun.
I'm gonna try the key in that
Okay.
door.
The door has two locks, but you have the keys to both of them. This one has also been secured by 3 bolts. Again, new.
And they're closed,
Yes.
so we can't.
Okay, we might have. Someone might be in there. Someone might
Yeah,
be
how
in there.
how could the person who have left close the bolts behind them when they're on the inside?
Maybe
Well,
they didn't-
there's still one door left, so...
Maybe
No,
they didn't-
those are the only
somehow.
2 doors into the house.
I'm going to
Oh,
see if
okay.
I can peer through any of the windows. If there's any sort of cracks in the boarding, I would assume I can dimly
Yep,
see inside.
let me just have the house map up.
Is there a cellar entrance?
Bear with. I'm fairly certain there was, actually, but let me just find the info on it. There is a coal chute, but you can see it's been nailed up.
From the outside or the inside?
Okay, well,
In this case, from the outside. You don't know whether it's also been bolted up from the inside.
I suppose we can either try to force it open, we can try and kick it open, or we're going to have to
Be
find
right back.
That is.
People are leaving.
For 1 second.
So
I wouldn't
was kind
suggest kicking a triple bolted door.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good way to break your foot.
I mean the only one bolt, or the front door.
There was 4 bolts in the front
There
door.
was 4 on the front.
Oh, was there? Oh,
Yeah.
There's 3 on the side.
okay, then we need to get some bolt cutters.
yeah, Jim,
I'm gonna
do you have
look-
anything like that?
I'm gonna look
Sorry.
around for a cellar entrance.
I've already mentioned the only other way you see is possibly a coal chute, but that's not been boarded up over from the outside.
Okay.
And you're not going to fit me in that.
No, you're really not going to fit anybody in that. But it's
I'd also say going in there unequipped might be a bad idea, guys, because if there's someone in there and they've bolted it from the inside, they might be a bit aggressive if we come in. I'm just saying we should probably be prepared for some sort of act.
Do we actually want to go back
Tea.
and fetch like sleeping supplies and that yet, or are we just going to wait till we get in before we?
Can you
I think we need to go and get something to get into the house first.
can you
Our key doesn't
bring me
work?
up to speed?
We're just debating at the
basically
moment.
they just found out that the house is pretty much locked and secured.
And our key doesn't work?
No, your keys
Our
work,
keys
but they've been
work.
bolted as well.
So,
Ah.
I don't really want to leave
Can
it.
I use...
hang
can I
on
use
a
my...
minute, guys. Shadow, what happened with me trying to peek through the window?
You can't tell much. There are cracks, but it's very dark in there. There's almost no illumination going in.
Can I use my physical imposition to ram the doors in?
Not without hurting yourself.
Are you
I
going
would
to
think.
try then? And which the side door, I assume.
I'd like to stop
Well, I'm
her if she
gigantic,
tries.
so... You're going
Okay.
to stop me?
Make me a
Hang on.
strength check.
My strength is 11.
Yep,
Sounds like
roll a
Marcus
d100.
protesting.
Yep.
Hang on.
But she's
Roll
about
a
to do it.
D100. I'm going to roll a d100.
D100,
Okay.
and let me know what you get.
63.
No, it hurts. You just bounce off of it.
Don't try and break the property. We could lose money for that.
I could have told you that was going to happen.
Look, I say-
Let's try.
I say we go back, get some supplies, some food, some sleeping stuff, and maybe a crowbar or something to get into the house.
I say, I don't think we should leave. I think someone's in there. If we leave, they could leave.
Right,
Well,
so
It's
might
Do
be
you want to leave
worth,
someone behind?
guys.
It might be worth
Guys?
finding out who would have a reason to stay in this house at this point.
Well, I'm just thinking, if somebody's inside and has bolted the doors, perhaps we should knock.
I think Debbie just did.
I did.
It was certainly loud
Very
enough
loudly.
that anybody in the house probably heard it.
I suppose okay then.
I'm gonna go round to the other side just to make sure no one tries to leave from that side, but within earshot.
The only two houses that somebody could walk out of are the front door and the side door you're at.
I'll follow.
Well, I'm
Marcus.
gonna stand by the corner so I can see both.
Okay.
Does the door have any windows in it?
No. The side
Are there
door
any
is
windows
a
close to
smaller door than the one at the front of the house though.
Side doors are what?
Would I knock
Side
my
door's
head trying to
side
walk
door's a
through it?
smaller, less well maintained door than the front one.
Would I be able to ram through that one?
You
As we're
tried
discussing,
to go through the side door.
as we're discussing, is time passing?
Not that much really at this point. It's still around. It's still early in the day actually.
Well,
No,
do
I
you
mean,
want to
just like-
leave?
Just
If
so,
you-
is it weird that if someone was in there and we'd knocked, we'd basically at this point be thinking
It's
there's
10.
no one in.
It's 10 a.m. So
All right.
I think what
So-
he's trying to establish is, have we waited long enough for somebody to respond to the knock?
oh yeah, you've been
Hmm.
talking, so
Look-
that's real time effectively.
There's obviously no one in there. The person,
Obviously,
my friend's,
how do you explain the bolts?
my friend's friend said that no one's been in this house for 3 months, and judging by the fact that we just slammed onto the door and she nearly knocked herself out, and no one responded to that horrendously loud noise, I think it's fair to assume that there's no one inside.
So
Your
Yeah.
Or
twenty-
whoever's
How would you
interested in
propose they
religion.
shut 7 bolts from the inside if they were outside?
You're 27, and I think you're homeless. You haven't had to deal with bloody homeowners when you're renting them. They are not the most truthful of people.
I used to live at a fine estate, I'll have you know.
I
Used to.
have trouble believing that.
Believe what you will.
once slept under.
Fine estate. Somebody thinks he's a
If you
British
truly,
gentleman.
if you're like truly this paranoid, Marcus, just do you want to stay behind while we get the equipment we need and watch the house
Right.
then?
Okay, well, I'm
think
going to
we
go to
should.
the front door. I'm going to
Okay.
wrap my fist against the door and then put my ear to it.
Okay, make me a listen roll.
Make what, sorry?
A listen check.
Listen,
Oh,
The
lovely.
Which
default
I can
25.
do for you, actually. It's a 25% chance, but if you want to roll it.
Go ahead, Jonas. I have no idea.
All the windows are boarded
Okay.
up, so it'd be pretty hard to do that.
You can't hear anything through the door.
Damn.
After a couple of moments, you realise nobody's coming to the door either.
I think someone has to stay here while the rest of us go back and question that bloody. What's the name
can-
of a person you're renting a house from? I've completely forgotten.
Michael Smith is the person who gave you this job.
No, the occupation of when someone's renting houses out.
Property owner.
Michael Smith is the
Landlord.
property order.
Landlord, yeah.
Yeah.
Landlord, that's the one. Yeah, this landlord. We need to go.
Um,
I think we
That's
need
the
to
person who
question
gave you
it.
I
this
think
job.
I think we got all the info we're going to out of him.
Listen, and if you're paranoid, stay here. We'll go back and get some stuff.
Fine.
Okay, so
I'll
we're
bring some
so the
food for
party's
you.
splitting up a bit here then. So
Well, I have tools in my car.
Well, why didn't you say so? Go get him!
Figured you might have realized that, considering I'm the guy that comes to maintain machinery.
Oh yeah, you're the
That's
guy
why
that
I asked him
maintains
straight
my
away
plane.
If he had
Oh,
anything.
well, thank you for remembering that. You still owe me $10 from last week.
we should
Well,
give you
I'm
the birthday
making
points,
you loads of money here, so
That's nice.
assuming you get in the house and solve whatever the problem is. Which- Which may
Well, the
include
first
trying to work
problem
out
is
what the
it's
problem
solved.
is.
well, yeah. We desperately need to get inside the house. Now, how badly hurt are you actually from that ramage?
Not particularly,
Yeah,
but
they-
it didn't budge when she tried it the first time.
Yeah.
Okay,
My
I'm
shoulder,
just,
my
I'm
shoulder's
just
just a
wondering
little sore.
if it's worth going back and getting any medical supplies to help with that. But I assume
She didn't
we can
lose
help
the
out.
arm in the process, Dylan.
No, but I mean, no, if it broke or anything.
No.
No.
Okay, well, I'll just. I don't see a need to go back to my house then, so I'll probably go back and get supplies from the farm with the rest.
Okay.
I'll go with
Marcus, are
him.
you staying?
Get supplies
Yeah.
from the
Is
farm.
anyone else staying, or is it just me?
I'm gonna see if I
I'll
can
stay.
get. I'm gonna see if I can get something open here.
Okay.
Alright.
What about
Uh,
your tools?
My tools are in my car. I drove
Oh,
here
okay.
in my
Right
car.
there.
Literally, I'm just going to go to the trunk now and get my tools
For a,
out.
for a degree certified doctor, you're not the brightest old person, are you?
I never said I was like commonsensical.
Yeah, we noticed when you just said commonsensical.
I really don't feel safe about it.
Remind me, where did he get his medical license from?
Where does he say that? It's your graduation from the University of Boston. So the Miskatonic University, I'd guess.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I bet he hasn't even read my book.
So Marishan is going to stay at the house and... Jim is going to stay at the house and try and open the side door, I imagine.
I'm actually going to go for one of the windows.
Okay, you're going to try in the windows. You notice at this point that they're boarded up from the inside.
Well, I was told that
Yeah,
already
yeah.
by the
Yeah,
others,
sure.
but,
But yeah, in case you hadn't known.
I presumably have like crowbars, wrenches, screwdrivers, etc.
And I'll help
It's
him
part
out.
of my general engineering stuff.
Okay, sure. So you're trying to rip off the glass pane and then the boards behind it. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna stay with my Jim and help.
Okay.
I think I'll follow supply chain.
Okay.
I'm
I
watching
don't-
them work stuff out.
Okay, so Debbie, Jim, and Marcus is staying at the house. The other three are going back to the farm to pick up things.
Yep.
Okay.
In what vehicle? Since the two people that own vehicles are the ones that are staying.
They ain't touching my car.
They can take my tractor.
They
if they
can.
want.
They can.
Your tractor's at the farm.
Yeah.
I'll have to get the bus.
No, I drove
I'm a
my
certified
well,
driver.
actually, no, Zellie's got a car. Right.
Toss me your car keys.
I don't even know who you are, man.
Oh, come on. It's not underwear. It's a car. Let him
Yes, it's really expensive.
I pull out the $50 you gave us and take a 5 and hand it to them and tell them to get the bus.
That's a bit
Like,
overkill for a
Where are
bus,
they
but
going?
okay.
The next country over?
I don't care as long as they're not using my car. Get a
Gets on the
taxi.
bloody bus.
Get whatever you want.
Do you want handing us some more of that money, seeing as we agreed buying supplies to help out with this mission? It's the
You're
best to
buying supplies from a farm owned by someone in the group.
Well, no.
get. Actually, are we getting everything?
It depends
Are we,
what supplies
are
you're
we
going
getting
to go and
everything from
get.
this? Because
Are
I
you
was
going to buy supplies? Because
You
you
tell
guys
me
are being really confusing about what you're doing.
I wanted to get like sleeping equipment and stuff, and I don't know there'd be like
Yeah,
a massive
sleeping
excess of that at the farm.
Well, I assume
Sleeping
that
bags
there's
and
beds
stuff.
in the house.
Well, I have a sleeping bag.
People were living there.
Looking at how disrepaired it is, I'm not very sure of that.
Well,
Fine. Take
they left
35.
They left in the middle of the night. You really think they packed up their beds and their chairs and tables?
No, but I also don't know how they managed to board up all the windows on their way out.
That's why I don't think that they've left.
And that's why we should get some sort of protection. That's why I want to.
I'm on it. That's why I'm heading back to the farm.
The 3 bailiest of us are here, so I think we should be okay if anyone is in there.
Is there a gun store nearby?
I imagine you could find one reasonably close by.
In 1920,
Can you-
quite likely.
Can you buy guns for 30?
Very,
like
very
just-
easily, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
See if you can open a line of credit with the store.
You could probably do that as well, actually.
I've got a little.
I mean, and you all have cash on hand as well.
Yeah.
I give the 35 to Dylan because he's the most trustworthy looking. No offense, Snoopy, but I've never met you before. No one has ever met you before, Snoopy.
Wow.
He just happened to show up. He just was popping in.
Showing up and desperate for money.
He's the
I
highest.
cross my arms and almost throw a temper tantrum.
No one really.
Yeah, you can do that, Connor. Sorry, he just asked a question, but you don't need to necessarily be out of character. You're not necessarily plotting against everybody else.
Oh, I know.
But
We're too paranoid still.
but you succeed. Nobody notices you do it anyway.
Yay!
He is flying against us.
I'm pretty
No,
sure
I'm
it's pickpocketed you or something.
What about a chimney? Are there any chimneys open
I
and
trust-
big enough for people to fit down?
Chimneys?
No.
Story bungalow?
No. It's a 2-story bungalow. It doesn't have a chimney.
Well, it has a roof, right?
I'm sorry, but I'm not referring to it as a bungalow. I'm just going to write it
I
down as
know.
brick house.
It's just that is the third line of the description. It says it's a bungalow, and the map above it has 2 floors and a basement.
Basement?
I would like to pick up a pistol, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Just go and get some
You can go
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just shut up talking and go.
Alright.
One of you lend them your car, or you're gonna go hungry all
Okay,
all
how
night.
about this? First we go to the we first maybe go to the gun store because I only need something small. Then we go to the farm and then back
Okay.
because otherwise we're going to carrying a lot of luggage around to the gun store. It's going to be stupid.
I suppose that kind of makes sense.
Quite so. So,
So you know where a gun store is?
It wouldn't take you too long to find it. You're
Okay.
You're in a,
Well, you're
in a
from
decent
town.
yeah.
I'll walk into town.
You're gonna walk into town. Okay, that takes you about 10 minutes. You find a gun store. What are you trying to buy at this point? Just
Some sort of small pistol and maybe I've got ammunition to it.
Yeah. I've heard that pistols kill people quite well, so I don't think we need anything more than that.
You're also
You
nowhere
might
near
need the
them, so
ammunition.
Also, what?
you're also nowhere near them at this point.
I sold my old pistol because I lost all my money in blackjack.
That's not something you should admit, by the way.
so you're just buying a .32 revolver or something.
Yeah, I suppose just something cheap. He's not.
Okay, so that's $7 for some ammo and the gun.
Yeah, I'll pay that out of mine first.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing there. It's $15 actually, but
Does that come with a holster as well?
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
That's
pay.
some fast inflation.
I'm going to look at all the guns and just marvel over them.
Okay. Do you wish to buy one as well, or?
What would there be?
Well, I'm looking at the weapons table here, so it depends what you're trying to buy at this stage, and I'll give you examples. And he's gone silent.
Is there like a 1911?
Sorry, which gun did I buy?
So, you just bought a .32 revolver.
Me too. Okay.
Alright, I'm back. What did I miss?
Not much. They just bought guns.
Literally 0 things.
Is there
I didn't
a
buy a
Colt
gun.
Is there a Colt 1911 Shadow?
Did both of you
Oh,
buy it?
it's not listed as such, but there are the heavy caliber handguns as well. So,
Did both of you buy
Snoopy.
guns?
Snoopy bought a pistol, and Connor's looking.
at a slightly bigger
I'm
handgun.
just gonna hang around at the store. I'm not looking to buy anything.
Hmm.
I don't know how to use one of those.
Guns don't kill people. Dylan kills people.
Of course, Dylan kills people.
He's a doctor.
He drums up his own
That is
business.
quite a nice quote.
Drumming up his own.
Yep. So, Connor, you buying the bigger caliber stuff then, or?
Yeah, how much would it
really
cost?
list specific guns.
It'd be $35 for a .45 and some ammo.
All right, sure.
Okay.
So, how much did you guys spend? Because I'll part you some of the mission money.
Well, they've already blown through the $50 advance.
Right, I'll just...
I paid for the gun with my own money.
Yeah, sure, but they've blown through whatever was effectively a $50 advance.
How much you say Common is spending?
I spent 35.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
So
pass you the money from the advance then for that. And I got $5 left from the advance.
So
Okay.
how much? I'm back to 100 again then.
apparently
Yeah,
so.
you didn't spend any money because I used the money.
So
we
which
got
tools are
given
you going to
use
get from
the investigation on it?
the farm then? And also we lost Ellie at some point, but
Yeah.
I will personally try to see if there's a toolbox. Specifically, I'd like to get.
I imagine there is, because she supposedly maintains her own farm equipment. But at the moment, I'm still waiting to find out what happens with me trying to bash the window and...
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna take.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
grab
take
Okay, specifically.
it takes you some time, but you've managed to undo the window and you've got the boards off. Let me just find out where you're actually entering from. So I can give you the description to it.
I am back, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This keyboard has replaced the
Welcome back. But
location.
you've
of the
managed to
print
open up the
screen.
window into the living room, which contains conventional furnishings, an old, well, slightly newer but still old radio, a couch, some stuffed chairs, and shelves laden with various objects. There's also lots of various portraits of the Virgin and other Catholic religious symbols along all the walls.
So it doesn't look like anybody actually moved out, just left.
But either way, you've opened the window and you can now get in through it.
Is it just me and Marijan and Debbie here right now?
Yes, but it's taken them this long to get that. It's taken them that long to get the window off.
Okay. So we look inside, but we haven't gone in.
I don't imagine you have at this point, unless you want to.
I'm gonna climb through the window.
Do you really want to do that? We don't know what could be in there. Do you want to wait for the others, or
We've probably got no particular reason to be afraid right now.
It does
Well-
deserted to me.
Except that it
Okay.
was locked from the inside, but...
I feel like I'm the only one who's taking that seriously.
Well, we were paid to find out what's wrong with this house, not to look at it.
Look, I'm
Okay, let's go in then.
I'm stood here with a lifetime of working with heavy things, holding some very heavy tools. Somebody really wants to charge at me with the intent of shutting some bolts I'm going to clobber them round the head.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'm
either
gonna
way,
pick up a big stick.
the living room has 2 exits. One of them's open and seems to lead into the into a corridor, which you know from the house layout probably just leads to the front door and down the middle of the house. But the other doors are closed.
Some of those random objects lying around, are any of them special in like an occult sort of way, or?
As I said, there's just lots of images of the Virgin and other Catholic religious symbols. They'd be normal for most houses if they're fairly religious who live here.
Okay.
What my great grandmother's house looks like.
Is there any cabinets or anything that we can open and check out?
Not here. This is just a living room area, but there's nothing unusual coming to you on the just quick search.
Does the radio look like it's operational?
You're going to try and turn it on?
Yeah.
By the way, I like to stay generally
There's a
behind
click,
those
but it
things.
doesn't activate.
Is it a matter of a broken radio, or does there not seem to be any power?
You guess probably
Bit of-
power based on
Is there a light
And
switch?
radios then would have probably been battery
they
powered.
would have been battery powered, but it's either dead or.
Is there a light switch anywhere?
No, there are candle holders around though.
Oh, okay.
Are there candles in the candle holders?
No.
Are there
Are there any
candles in any
matches?
of the drawers or things in the room?
Is there any dried wax in the candle holders?
Yes, if you want. Why not?
Good luck lighting the dry wax.
I sense the diary is going to be a thing here because I'm reading from a description. I sense the diary moments are coming back. Alright, anyway.
This room's
As I say, you can
generally
you can sort of see into where the main corridor is, which leads to the front door.
Are there anything like chests of drawers or anything like that in the room?
No.
Not in this one.
No.
It's just literally just a living space, really.
Is it dusty in the room? Are there cobwebs?
Yes, it is fairly dusty.
This room seems quite unremarkable. We should
Are there
probably
any
continue to check.
tracks or fingerprints in the dust anywhere?
None that you can make out.
So it
You
seems that
you guess there
nobody's
might be some small animals scurrying around, but that's it. Possibly rats or mice or something.
So it appears that nobody's been in this room for quite a while.
Based on your best
Are you
guess,
saying
yeah.
that out loud?
Oh,
Well, I'm going to peek into the hallway and see if I can see anything of note.
okay, it's fairly dark. I mean, other than the light coming from a living room where you've just made the gap, there's no lighting sources there. There's small cracks through some of the windows, but that's it. The corridor, you see at one end of it, the stairs leading upwards. There are 3 doors to your left, and another couple of doors at the far end on the right.
I
I
pull
should
out
really
my-
try and draw a map for this quickly, but
pull out my lighter and turn it on.
okay. You have slight illumination. You can see the front door, and it is indeed bolted with 4 bolts. They all look fairly new.
Can I unbolt them?
Yes, you've unbolted them. The door swings slightly open.
Well, we can let more light in.
Yeah, I'll just open the door fully, then we can see somewhat better in the
Yeah, fair enough.
hallway.
So did you say there's only one exit from the living room?
Two.
There are 2.
Mm.
And they just
To
gone
the
through the one which is
corridor and
open
the
into the...
front door.
Yeah. Nope, the living room has corridor and the other door you haven't been through yet.
Should we check both at once or one at a time?
I don't think there's actually anyone here.
Never. I still think there could be some squatters or something.
You
here.
hear a noise.
From which direction?
Upstairs.
Now, that could be an animal, but that sounds like rhythmic tapping to me.
Seems to be going roughly above where you're currently standing in the hallway.
I am quite a bit tense right now. What
It,
should we
it
do?
repeats.
That is definitely not an animal.
Is it just a steady rhythm?
It is a steady rhythm. For some reason, you get the impression that if you just heard it normally, you'd think it was your heartbeat, but it's definitely not.
Yeah.
And it's
I
coming from
figured.
upstairs.
Well, it could be a breeze in the window, just
A
cracked and
breeze?
blowing.
Let's be real here. That's something or someone making that noise.
Well, of course, it's me.
An old clock.
That is not.
It only started just a moment ago.
We just opened the door. It could just be
Yeah.
stuff being disturbed by the door being opened.
Why are you two so intent on not believing anyone's here?
Because look at the
It's a
dust. There's no
deserted
footprints.
house.
There's no footprints. There's no power. It's so dusty, and there's no tracks.
Never
of-
underestimate a homeless man's will to live. I wouldn't. He probably doesn't want anyone knowing he's living here.
And he's very coordinated enough to not leave footprints.
Well, let's just go
in
see
dust.
what it is.
Hang on,
We should
hang
probably
on,
check
hang on.
that door first.
Shush.
It's getting slightly louder and a bit faster.
Is it moving or is it just getting?
No,
louder?
it's still above you as far as near as you can tell.
You still think that's a breeze?
Well, I'm gonna head up the stairs towards the noise to look for what it is.
I'm gonna
Okay.
follow her, but I'm gonna ready
I'm gonna-
crowbar or whatever it was I was using.
I'm gonna peek in the door. I'm gonna hurry so that they don't leave the room before I peek. But I want to peek in the door that we haven't opened before.
Okay.
Can I have,
as
can
as
I
you
have a
split
fire
up then for
poker?
this,
What? No.
well, you kind of had. You just gone and had a quick look in the room. You see a dining room, a large wooden table, possibly mahogany, and a built-in sideboard. There are 7 chairs. 3 places are set and unused. There's also a bowl of rice soup, which is clearly rotting in the centre.
They can't really go too far without me because I've got the light source. But can I see any exits to the dining room?
Yes, you see one. And it's open. You can see into the kitchen just about from here. There's no other doors other than the one to the kitchen and the one to the living room.
Since we're now not in the same spec, has the noise moved?
No, you still hear it, but it doesn't appear to have moved.
Is the
Is-
dining table upstairs or in the kitchen?
I'm
Where
just
that
playing
is?
for Zelly
You two
at
are
this
going
purpose.
down the hallway, and you're basically stuck at the end where there's no light. And I'm at the dining room door, which is part of the living room. So there's 2 doors in the living room. You're at one, I'm at the other.
Okay.
So I like to, guys. There's a whole other section here. Someone could be hiding in here, and they could come around behind us if we don't check this place first.
We'll go ahead and check then.
On my way out of the living room, I pick up a fire poker.
Okay, I walk into the dining room, try
There
and peek into the
wasn't
kitchen.
a fire in that room, so where are you getting that from?
No, a fire poker. There isn't a fireplace or anything in there?
Not
There's no chimney.
not
is
in the
there?
description thus far.
You could
Is
ask
there an
Marge
umbrella?
or a wrench or something.
Nope.
Is there anything sharp and...
You've got your fists, woman.
You could go to the kitchen and find knives if they're still there, I suppose. But
Nah.
I have the light source.
anyway, are you running upstairs to see what the noise is?
Well,
Yes.
I'm presumably following Debbie.
Okay.
I'm not running, I'm
The
walking.
two of you head up a narrow staircase. As you head up there, you see a door immediately to your left, and a corridor with 3 other doors. Sorry, and beside it, the one at the back is open, and that's seemingly where the noise is coming from.
Is it moving? The door?
No.
Nope, the door at the back. No, it's just open, and that's where the noise seems to be coming from.
Okay, I'm going to approach where the noise...
Okay. As you approach, the noise seems to be getting louder and faster. You going around the door?
Yep, I'm gonna peek around the door before I actually move around the door.
As you peek around the door, the noise stops.
What do I see in that
You
room?
see a small room which contains a bed frame, bare bread springs, and an empty dresser.
Mm-hmm.
Other
Is
than-
it dark?
there's a window, and this one actually isn't boarded up,
Did we not
Okay,
know
so
that
it's
was
allowing some light into this room. Other than that, nothing else seems remarkable in here.
Did we not notice that from the outside?
You didn't notice that at the time, no. Drip.
Okay, so I'm gonna look around the room for where that
Something
noise
drips onto
might
your
have come
head.
from. Ew, I look up and see what it is.
Upon touching it, you see red. There's another drip.
I move out of the way where it's dripping.
Do you mean her vision
Drip.
goes red, or the
Nope.
drip is red?
Drops of what you would guess are blood are dripping from the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Drip.
Is this
I
place
move
got
out
a,
of the way.
Has this place got an attic?
Drip.
Or is it because
It
it's only
might
2
do,
floors,
but
isn't it?
you're downstairs anyway. But you haven't. There doesn't appear to be a way up there if there is. Drip.
Hmm.
Drip. Drip.
Did she see
I look
where it's
at
coming from,
marriage.
other than that it's coming from above
It's
her?
coming. Yeah, just above her head. Just
She
got
looks
into the
up.
room.
She did say she looked up.
Yep. It just
I
seems
did.
to be dripping through.
Yeah, but I move out of the way when I see it.
Oh,
still
so it's just dripping through the ceiling. There's
Yeah.
nothing actually like
Seemingly
physically above
there.
her.
Is there a spot, like a blood circle on the ceiling where it's like pooling? Or
There
is it
doesn't
just
appear
like.
to be pooling on the ground, actually.
But on the ceiling, though, can I see any stains on the ceiling?
It's just dripping from the
It's-
ceiling with no.
It's just dripping
no
from the
residue.
ceiling. You also hear a scratching coming from the window.
From the window?
The window starts rattling.
Hmm. I look at Meriden.
You hear a faint scratch, almost as if it's someone clawing at it.
Hmm.
Well, why are you
I call
staring
out.
at me? What's going on in there?
The
Yeah,
blood
you
is still dripping, by the way, as well.
You haven't informed them of anything to tell.
I basically stood behind
Yeah.
you.
Aren't
so
you
I'll-
following me?
Yeah, I'm stood behind you, so all I know is that you backed out of the room.
Dum, 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 dum.
Well,
The thumping
come peek
starts, and it
around
seems
the
to be coming
door.
from all around you as you're standing in the room.
Well, I didn't actually go into the room, did I?
Yes, that's why you looked at the blood that was going there.
She peeked around the door and then moved back out of the room, is what she said.
Well, either way, you hear the rattling at the window, you see the blood dripping down, and you hear the thump starting back up again.
Okay, well, I'll back out of the room and tell Meriden what I saw and heard in there.
I've just got to look at her and say, that'd be ridiculous. Why would there be blood dripping from the roof?
Well, go look at yourself.
I sigh and sort of try and move faster in the
As you
corridor.
enter the room, the thumping has stopped. The window's rattling, but there's no blood dripping down.
Is there
The window just
pool of
continues
blood
to
on the
rattle.
floor?
Rattle, rattle.
Is the blood on the floor, though?
No.
There's no sign of it, is what he's saying. I'm going to move over to the window and see if I can see something outside.
Okay. What are you doing at this point, Debbie?
I'm waiting for him to come back with his findings.
Okay.
Are
There's a
Dylan and I
loud
back yet?
screech.
No.
Marishin, make a dodge roll.
A dodge roll, you say? Doop. Oh boy. Yeah, I rolled 75, which is a miserable failure.
Okay. Debbie, you see the bed lurch at high speed towards, sorry, I forgot your name before you leave the room there.
Jim McDuckety.
Towards Jim. He's knocked clean out the window.
You get
With a loud
knocked out the
smash.
window?
Yep, the bed just, as soon as he goes towards the window, the bed slams forward into him, pushing him out.
Do I hear
He
this?
smashes through the window and onto the paving stone into the stones outside. Paving stones outside. You take 8 damage.
Ow.
The bed,
So is
the bed
he
shuffles and screeches
dead?
back into its place.
I think it would have killed.
Well, it didn't kill me, but it
No,
hurts.
I mean, I think it would have killed.
You
would've
are
killed me.
Lazarus.
you are in
It would've killed
significant
me.
amount of pain.
Yeah. Ow.
There's
Can I
shards of
ask-
glass all over you as well.
There's what?
I'm gonna.
It's broken glass. I've just
Yeah.
smashed through a window. So I'm talking broken
Zelia,
glass.
at this point you hear that. You hear at least a smash of glass followed by a thud from outside.
I stop my quest into the kitchen and immediately start backing out towards the living room. Quite briskly.
Okay? You're in the living room.
Okay. continue backing out to the front door.
You see
You're
on
just gonna
the,
leave us?
on the stone patio outside, Marishan's character, Jim, face down in front of it. He's covered in glass shards.
Can I, if I try the first aid roll, is it possible that I could do something wrong and hurt him more?
If you critically failed it, yes.
Possibly,
Like
but you might
critically,
also help him out for the moment so he could walk. Or
Well,
I just want to know, because I know in
presumably-
paranoia that if you fail even a little bit, something generally goes
Well,
horribly wrong.
if you have tried to apply first aid to a random person, what are the risks? That's generally the question there.
Well, if
But
they're not gonna
you
in terms
you
of-
could break it
Instead of
further.
treating someone's blood or checking if they're still conscious and things like that, you
Yeah.
should be able to pull it off.
That's
You
what
could check
that's
its
what represents
pulse.
your first aid skill, which I think by default is something like 30%.
It is 30% by
Yeah,
default.
which is just the general. Yeah, medicine's the medicine's more long-term treatment. First aid is more sort of immediate to make sure he's okay.
Jim? Jim, you
You
okay?
can ascertain
What
whether he's
the
alive.
hell happened? Ow.
Are you going to try to apply first aid?
Yeah, I run over and would like to try and do first
Okay,
aid.
I'll roll this for you. Okay, you succeed. Put a check on first aid for yourself.
Nice.
Marishan, restore 1 hit point.
Hooray.
It still hurts, and you've still got glass in bits all over you, but you're not going to get any worse at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just sort of badly cut up and probably
Yeah.
in quite a bit of pain from hitting the ground.
Does he still have his weapon on him?
Yeah, anything he was carrying came out with him. The whole thing did.
I would
It might
like...
be it might be
Debbie,
on the ground
you're
next.
alone. You're alone in the house.
Yeah, that's what I want.
You've just
I'm
seen
going
the
to-
bed move and push Jim out the window. What are you doing?
I'm going to run downstairs and out the front door to go see if Jim is all right, or alive, rather.
Okay, you run out. You run out of the house.
Uh-huh.
What happened in there?
How the bloody clothes? She tells me there's blood dripping from the ceiling and weird thumpings. I go in to check what's going on. Next thing I know, I've been smashed in the back by something and knocked out a window.
I didn't think that, of all people, you'd scream like that, Jim.
I think at this point I'm likely to tell him to fuck off.
It might be a good idea to get him to a hospital. You think, just to check him
You
over at this
just
stage.
insulted and injured him.
No, I didn't. You heard the scream before you were thing, and now no one has just
Man.
told me that it was not him.
You also have ignored the idea roll I rolled for you that it might be a good idea to get him to a hospital to recover, or at least get the glass out of him.
Help me get him into his car.
I'm
You won't even take a clearly quite badly injured man in your car.
I
Scratch
help
the
pick
leather and bleed all over it. No!
I help pick up.
He's got his
Jim up
priorities.
and-
I like it.
I help pick Jim up and I put him into Zelly's car because
Whoa.
it's the closest.
Sorry, you're helping pick him up. You can't just
Yeah.
drag him over to my car. I'm part of this picking up here as well. He's going in my car.
To be
I'm
fair,
bigger than you, so
Guys.
where I
Guys,
I'm-
I have half
Shut up
health.
complaining!
I'm probably somewhat capable of standing on my own if limping a bit.
Yeah.
okay. Well, I'm bigger than Zelly, so wherever I'm dragging Jim, Zelly's bound to follow.
hella stronger than you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, he is.
Aw.
You mean
Well,
you
you can stand
take
up
your
on his own.
take your hand to a lady in this era?
No, but
Actually,
I drag him
oh,
down.
oh,
Oh,
that's
true.
Ha.
Oh, yeah, I could.
It's ungentlemanly to argue with a lady, even if I am in overalls.
I don't think it is.
Either way.
Yeah, but Margin can stand. I ask him. Is he? Was I managed to stop the bleeding, or is he still quite?
He's got glass in him. He still needs to be taken out. But
Which car do you
he's
wanna
not,
go
he's not
in,
going to get any
Jim?
worse immediately.
Just get me to my car. I'll friggin' drive if I have to.
I help bring Jim to his car then.
That
Okay.
lazy bastard can watch the house.
I am. I was actually going
just
to say.
just because you've got no way of telling them the other group at this stage, are you going to keep anybody back to let them know what's
That's
happened?
yeah. I'm going to stay back.
Alright, you stay here and I'll drive Jim to the hospital.
Okay.
I mean, I don't really understand what was going on in the top room because no one explained, but
Well, if you'd give me a
Look.
moment, I'd explain. I holler out the window as we're driving, as I'm starting the car. The damn bed levitated and knocked Jim out the window. See you later.
Well done.
Paranormal activity! Never mind, bye.
You'll be
Okay.
fine.
You drive him up to the hospital, and they're able to restore 2 more hit points to him. And they've taken all the glass out, and they're keeping him overnight for observation.
can I do an occult check to see if I generally have any idea what this could be from what I've
I'll
heard?
do that in a moment.
Do I have to apply any medical fees? This is America after all.
You will have medical fees attached to this, but
Yeah, you will have a medical bill.
but they've taken all the glass out of you, and they'll sort that out momentarily. Meanwhile, the other group arrives. Yeah, you're not 100% sure what it is on 95 on the occult roll.
I got. Oh, okay. I have a 65 in occult, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I've been just looking at that.
Okay.
Is default 5%, or did you stiff me on that too?
Sorry?
Default occult? Is that
Yeah, it's
5%?
5%. I'm not sticking you. Those are the default stats unless you raise them.
You stiffed me 10% on bargain.
I didn't stiff you 10% on bargain. Look at your character sheet. It says 15.
No, mine said 5.
Everybody says 15.
Everyone says 15.
Mine
What?
says 15.
Crazy.
Well, actually, no, he's not lying. Mine says 0.5 for bargain.
Oh, bargain
See?
0. Bargain 0.5, yeah. It was
Yeah,
Persuade he
it's
was
supposed
arguing.
to be 15.
It was
Yeah,
Persuade that we were talking about.
Oh, bah.
Accusing the GM of bad things. If I was Fred Computer, I would be zapping like mad.
Friend
But,
Cthulhu. Zap, zap.
Yeah, indeed. Friend Cthulhu comes later. In the meantime,
Okay.
the rest of you have now arrived at the house. You notice the door is open, and also you notice that one of the upper windows has been smashed in.
There's also some blood on the floor.
There's blood and glass on the floor as well.
I look to Worker and say, "What have these idiots gotten up to?"
Ah, jeez. Jesus, guys, what actually
Jesus
happened?
Christ, riding a fucking pogo stick. What the fuck?
Pogo stick.
Time for Christ, said Zebedee.
Can one of the Virgin Mary statues levitate and smack him for that comment?
Well, it's not happened yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Aw.
Eventually, though. I don't. Did I hear that? Was I in range to hear that?
Why not?
I suddenly like him a lot more.
So the 4 of you, well, 5 of you, four of you are there.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to find out from Marcus what happened while we were gone. Like, why is the situation changed so much?
I'm
Oh,
not.
also they've
Wait.
opened one of the windows has had the boarding taken off of it, and the windows on the floor outside as well.
I'm honestly not quite sure. We got the window open and we went inside, but them two ran upstairs, and I went to the dining room on the side and was going to go into the kitchen, but then I heard Marcus or Debbie scream, and when I ran back outside, Marcus was on the floor. He'd been flung out the window and he was covered in blood. I treated him when he fell, and I was able to, get him up and stuff, and then they drove off to the hospital.
Did you
wish
apply
I
a
brought
check
my
to first aid, by the way,
supervisor,
Zelly?
So, have they been hitting
Yeah,
with
put a check.
swords?
You just put an X. in
Just
the-
some note that you know you've succeeded in the skill this session well enough that you can train it later. That's
Okay.
all that means.
All right. I didn't go back in, and I didn't look in the kitchen after that, but I don't. They said that the bed levitated and threw him out the window, but she
said. I didn't say anything of the sort.
You're not here. I
Actually
said
noticed
what
something hit him from behind quite hard and pushed him out. But
I'm just pointing out
Mar-
what you're
Mar-
telling them is wrong.
anyway,
Margin said, "I don't know what happened. Fuck you." That was what he said.
Well, no, I did tell you that she complained of blood dripping from the ceiling, and
I haven't explained this. Don't give me pointers.
no, you're at the hospital in surgery at this point.
Lost me train of thought now.
So, Farmer Debbie said that the bed levitated and hit Jim out of the window.
That's what she said. And
I'm-
but to be
She's had
honest-
too much to drink already.
Well, no. To be honest, something is weird in the house. When we walked in, it was silent and there was nothing there. But then suddenly this tapping started happening, and they thought it was a breeze for some reason, but it kept getting
What did the tapping sound like?
a heartbeat that kept getting faster.
Have you been
it
hitting the
was
booze too?
Let me explain. Aren't you a doctor? Didn't you know that in a quiet space, your heart will sound like a heart?
Yes, I do.
And you were freaking out, so
You know what?
it probably would get.
You know what,
faster.
Lazarus? You're right. You know, just go in. You go in. It was just me, my heart. Go in. You sort it out.
Right, fine, you
No.
scaredy cat.
Get in. I mean, just ignore all the blood and the glass and the fact that they've gone. But you know,
He
yeah, it's
Fell out
fine.
the window.
No, it was just my heartbeat. Go in.
All right, I'm gonna go into the house.
Okay.
No one else go.
I love the fact that I'm the one that started explaining my character was not that bright, and currently everybody's being suicidally stupid.
Well, that's fine. Don't worry.
I don't
I'm
really
going
care
out,
about
yeah.
Connor's
I
character.
actually have no
Lazarus.
knowledge of this, so
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Because of the light from the open door and the window, you can see into the living room on your right, and but there are 3 doors also to the left, and the stairs leading up. On the right as well, at the far end, there are 2 doors, as we see in the corridor.
I'm going to go into the living room and start setting up like the sleeping bag and.
Alright, I'm gonna follow you in because I'm the one carrying all the blankets and stuff.
I'm gonna put the lantern on as well because it's dark.
It's not dark at all. It's midday, but and
Yeah,
also
but I thought you
this
said it-
the window is
living
missing
room's
from this room. This
fine.
room's quite well lit as well.
The living room's
Oh, okay.
fine. The upstairs fine. It's just the hall. And
Oh, the
Okay,
upstairs
so I
isn't
get-
fine,
so-
but the room you went into had a window that wasn't boarded up.
yeah, but they
Right.
opened the door as well, didn't they? So it should be poking into the upstairs
I'm
hallway.
There'll be
gonna-
some light there.
Some
Is-
light.
Yeah,
Start
sunlight.
setting up like the sleeping bags and stuff like that.
Boom,
I'm gonna
boom,
stand vaguely. Yeah, I was standing vaguely at the door, not inside though.
boom, boom,
You think that's my heartbeat?
boom, boom,
Jesus.
boom,
And if you stay there, it gets faster and louder.
boom, boom. It seems to be coming
I'm
from
gonna-
upstairs.
I stand at the front
Yeah,
door. I also
doesn't make
make
sense so
sure,
we can all hear it.
Boom, boom.
I make sure my pistol has got ammo in it. Before.
Yep, it's loaded, all except the first chamber.
Where did you
You've
say
got a very
the,
loud heartbeat.
Boom, boom,
Where did you
I'll
say
admit,
that the
boom, boom,
That's a bit weird.
boom, 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 boom.
where did you say that Jim fell from?
Well, you
Uh,
can see where he fell from. Actually, you can see the window.
Wow. Okay.
It's the room closest to this end of the house.
I thought it was boarded up, but I didn't. It obviously wasn't.
Boom, boom,
There's no wood splinters or anything, so we must have missed
boom,
that
boom,
one. Maybe because it was so dark.
boom, boom. It keeps going at that pace.
I just shrug it off and keep working.
You seem to be so nonchalant about this, and they were as well. And that's what ended up throwing Jim out a window.
Boom, boom,
Did you
boom,
see it throw him out the window?
No, I see that room to your left. I was in there.
boom,
They
boom,
wanted
I
to just run upstairs, but I was worried that if they
Bum, bum,
left
bum.
one door closed without checking, something
Bum,
could come
bum,
up
bum.
behind us. So I went to check that out.
And you
I
said
don't want
what did you say
to worry
they
people
saw?
anymore, but
boom, boom, boom.
I'm just gonna take some
Bum,
precautionary
bum, bum.
measures. Like I roll up some of these blankets into possible temporary bandages.
Don't
That's
rip
the best.
Don't
do
rip
that.
the
We
bed
brought blankets. We brought blankets for 5 people, and there's only 4 of us here anyway. So for
There's
6
5
people.
of us when they get back.
Oh, true. Marcus doesn't need one.
Wait, no, sorry. We brought blankets for 6 people, and there's only 4 of us here at the moment. So I'm gonna rip one up.
You probably have bandages.
The
No, I
thumping
said
has
I did. I haven't
stopped.
got any medical supplies with me. I wouldn't bring them
Guys,
with me to a random
please
house.
stop. Why-
See, it's nothing.
Wait, what just happened?
The thumping stops.
It's nothing. See,
I back out and look at the window.
scaredy cat.
From outside, presumably. Yep.
Yeah, from outside.
Yeah.
You don't see anything. Not from outside, anyway.
Okay.
Why
Last
did-
time, I don't think the tapping stopped. It got faster they went upstairs, and then I couldn't hear the tapping anymore because I was in the kitchen. Then I heard a scream, and then he got thrown out. And I think Jim said something about Debbie seeing blood coming from the ceiling. All I saw was the blood on the floor when he went flying out, though.
Blood from the ceiling and thumping.
Well, we're going
Could be someone
blood
chopping
from the
someone up.
Blood
That's my wild
from the
imagination.
ceiling.
That's
Well,
what. That's
we haven't
what.
checked. We gotta go. No.
Just
actually
know.
finish
I'm just
exploring
telling you what they told me. I never saw any of this.
Okay, I go back into the house and I shout up the stairs, hello,
Okay.
see if I can find anyone.
Silence.
I have to let you know. I still haven't checked the kitchen.
No, they still haven't checked the 3 doors on the left of the corridor either.
I don't know what they checked upstairs, but I haven't checked the kitchen.
Also, I might have inverted the house weirdly, so the door that was on the right is now on the left, to the outside, by the way. That's my fault. I read that wrong.
I decide to insult the silence by swearing up the stairs, telling anyone to get the fuck down here.
Bom, bom.
And we've got
Bom,
a
bom.
portable light source at this point.
Yeah,
Bom.
I have a lantern.
The noise starts back up again.
I think.
Bom, bom,
I don't think they
Bom,
appreciate
bom.
that.
bom, 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 bom.
I back towards the front door.
What is it now?
Well,
Can't
you
run off
definitely
up the
hear
side,
it.
doesn't
It also does not appear to necessarily be coming from upstairs anymore.
Can you two step outside the house for me?
You
Us
joined
two?
me.
Yeah, you two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bom,
I'll
bom,
go outside of the
bom,
house
bom,
just
bom,
to humor
bom,
him.
bom, bom, bom.
Are you both
Yep.
outside?
They're both
Yes.
okay. When they're both outside, the noise is continuing.
It continues.
It still seems to be coming not necessarily from upstairs, but also from the side rooms and below you, possibly.
I thought that it stopped when everyone was outside.
No, it's still. You can still just about hear it.
That's what I said that out loud.
Bom, bom,
Um,
bom,
What
to
should
be
we do?
honest,
bom, bom,
it could be anything,
bom,
and I have no reason to believe it's something malicious.
Really?
For all
Why
we
this-
know, your heart is beating so loud right now because you're a
It's
scaredy
not
cat
coming
and
from
a
him.
wuss.
No, Lazarus. I
Lazarus.
normally back you up, but that does sound a bit far-fetched.
Shut up! For God's sake. I've read a lot about this sort of stuff. I'm quite interested. This could be something supernatural, but I still think someone's in here.
Ooh, a doctor that believes in ghosts. Ooh.
He's not a doctor.
I'm not.
You could say that again.
This is the 1920s, man. Everyone believes in ghosts.
I wouldn't say that, but
So you're outside the house again.
What should we do? I still think we should check the kitchen before we even think about going up there.
We should
Oh yeah, we
definitely
need
stay the
to
fuck
actually
together.
do a
And you
proper
have- you
search
still-
fine.
of
We
the
should
house.
clear the house
Okay.
just in case there is someone or something, probably a raccoon.
Something.
Did you guys hear tapping coming from below us?
Did we?
Could just be the ground.
The noise has stopped again, by the way.
Because if there's something below us, I haven't seen a single entrance to get down there.
You
except
also
for
haven't
that
gone through
outside.
all of the doors.
Well,
lower
there
floor.
was a coal chute, so there's probably a basement.
Do you really want to go down a coal chute?
No, but we haven't checked the house. I would imagine there's stairs down somewhere.
I think we need to go back in. We
Stay
need-
as a group and keep everything lit.
Yeah.
It might also be worth just. This is my GM cap slightly off here. It might also be worth waiting a day and investigating what happened with the other families that were here. Certainly the Macarios.
Yeah, that's another option.
I think we should
But
just
we
stay
are
the
here
first
right
night
now.
and see what happens.
What if we
Also,
do?
We haven't cleared the house.
just as an idea roll here from. Sorry, I'm trying to find my name. Benny. If it was violence committed in the house, that would probably have been reported in the local news somewhere. But I'll let you decide what you're doing here.
I, for one, am not going to stay in this house until we get a bit more info.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad. Some random thumping. I say we clear the house
Okay.
and stay there the night if there's no...
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
to clear the house. I am not happy to stay here the first night.
I'd say, yeah, we make sure we know where everything is.
How about this? We make a floor plan. Has anyone got any paper? We draw a floor plan, check everything out, come back the next day when we get the other two back to the hospital.
Does someone have the PDF? I don't know. I might be able to find that. Bear with. The PDF for Call of Duty, because I was going to just get the map quickly for you.
I was actually just drawing
got it,
one
yeah.
because...
I'll actually just ping the map to you. It might be a bit easier.
Alright, I was going to say I was going to draw a floor plan as well.
Just
I'm
once
getting
you've
paper.
explored the lower area, I'll give it to you, just so there's no more confusion.
Alright.
Um,
I gotta find my paper. Where'd it go?
Hey, Debbie.
How about that? We clear, then we go and maybe try and find a bit more information, because this is weird. If they got
Well, I
thrown
mean,
out the window,
we have all day to do this. I mean,
it's only
still
about
fairly
midday.
early.
It's early.
What
Okay.
time do the sanatoriums shut?
You're
Well, it
not
doesn't.
sure offhand, but it probably doesn't.
So we're visiting the sanatorium?
Oh,
It's an
yeah,
idea anyway. But either way, you know the other two are at the hospital. So
Jim and I are still at the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
so we agreeing with that? Let's clear the first floor first.
Right, I carry a
Let's-
couple
no,
of these
let's-
bandages with me that I
let's-
made out of
Let's
blankets.
clear the first floor, try to find the basement, clear it, and then clear the second floor.
Right, okay.
okay, no worries. So you're in the hallway again. The thumping is still going at this point, but it doesn't seem as loud as it was previously.
Alright, we get
So there are three
systematically
doors to
clear.
your left.
Hit the first door, then the second, and the third.
Marcus, which rooms
Okay.
have you cleared first?
The first door to your left is a storage room. It's filled with various boxes, rusted water tanks, and a couple of old rusted bicycles.
Can I
You
check
see
one of the
a
boxes?
boarded and shut cupboard at the far end.
Where
Can
are
I
we
check
right
one
now?
of the boxes?
Are we in the top floor or the second? Oh, the bottom
Bottom
floor.
floor. Ground floor we're on.
I thought there was only one room. I'm confused.
Yeah, it just seems to be mouldy clothes mostly in there. As I say, there seem to be winter clothes, but they're all moulded over and
Oh, so you pried it open to it.
moulded. He has opened one of the boxes. But as I said, there's a boarded shut
disgusting.
cupboard there as well. Which again has been boarded from the outside.
We've driven off, but all the tools have disappeared. So.
Didn't you go and get tools from the
hospital later?
Wasn't that what you went to the farm for?
Yeah, we would have.
Okay, did we pick up them in the end? I don't know. I grabbed.
I would have picked up a
food.
Yeah.
crowbar because I said I was going to bring one.
You have a crowbar.
Yeah.
So you're going to try and open
I'm going to try and pry it open.
Okay.
Can I have a strength check from you? Well, D100, but it's based on your strength.
Yeah.
I need you
Sure.
to roll 4 times your strength or lower.
4 times. Wait, what?
4 times whatever
Well-
your strength stat is or lower on a D100.
So I need to roll it 4 times. Okay.
No, whatever your strength
No.
score is, multiply it by 4. That's what you're trying to roll under.
What's your strength
okay.
stat?
My strength that is. Hold up, let me look at. I don't think it was that high. My strength was 10, so I need to roll below a 40, and I
40.
critical failed.
99.
Yeah, I got a 99.
Okay. Take 2 hit points of damage from just exerting yourself and the crowbar flying off in your hands as you do it. Yeah, you're just winded slightly by the crowbar, sort of.
I'm staring at him in disbelief. Would
You
you
do
like?
realize I've lost 2/3 of my health.
Would you like?
Oh, did you?
Oh my god!
Okay, it actually cuts you slightly.
Is the crowbar fling back in his face or
Kind
something?
of. He's not. Yeah, it sort of was bolted on too tightly. There was tension. It came loose and hit him.
So you say he's bleeding, right?
Would
Yeah.
you like? Would you
Right.
like
I'm gonna
someone
take a look
else
at
to
his
try?
cut.
Dylan,
shut
roll
up.
your mighty first aid skill. And let me know what you get.
So, yeah.
Yeah, Shadow, I only have 6 health points, so...
Well,
Keep that in
Dylan was
mind.
able to just
Yes.
have a quick look over you and heal you for 1.
Alright.
Okay, do I have to apply bandage to him?
Yeah, but you probably did need 1. That would be included in that.
Yeah, well, I made plenty from a blanket, so it won't make it too much just putting one on him. I didn't realize it's made out of like paper, so I don't think he's really too seriously damaged to take the lost week.
No, either way, there was no purchase on the cupboard.
Guys, I thought it's a good cupboard. Shouldn't we clear it before we start searching?
No, I'm curious. Why would they board up a cupboard?
To be fair, why would they board
board up the rest of the house?
inside?
Well,
You know what? You two stay here. Let's carry on.
are you sure you want to split off, Scaredy Cat?
Well, you
I'm
two
the
are
one-
too busy
you're the-
dicking around in that cupboard.
Yeah, you're
Bum,
trying to
bum,
look in a
Bum,
cupboard.
bum, bum, bum.
Well,
I'm
that
not dicking around
got,
the
that
cupboard.
tapping.
I'm just trying to save him from his dickery.
That tapping got bloody faster the longer that we were in here. I don't want to be in here that long. Let's carry on.
Come on. It's been here and it's
Lazarus,
done nothing.
stop. Let's go.
Okay, fine. I'll hear from you.
We can look at that
Good
later.
right, that's
Okay,
just-
the
move.
second room on your left then.
Excuse me.
Sneeze.
It's dusty
You
in here.
guess looking at this as a secondary storage room, but this one mostly has broken furniture and other items that might be broken into a wood stove.
Huh.
Wood.
Stuff in the fire.
Yeah, you
There is
guess so.
wood.
Basically, that's what they've basically used it for. There's a
Oh,
couple of
things
bits
to
of
board
small
up,
broken furniture,
welcome
and some
to
bits have been broken up for things
We
that
haven't
will fit in
seen.
a log
We haven't
stove.
seen a fire yet, though, have we?
So-
No, though there might be a stove in the
was-
kitchen.
Yeah, there could be, but there's also a pollen chute out back, so there could be something in the basement.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, the third room is a mud room where there are loads of overcoats, hats, umbrellas, etc. There's also a couple of bags of coal on one side, and you see the side door, which has 3 bolts across it.
On our
I'm-
side?
I'm gonna,
Oh, yeah, of course,
I'm
it's
gonna
the
undo
door.
the bolts.
Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, they all click open. Again, you notice these are new. They're definitely at most a year old. These locks.
Someone's fucking with us. These are really... There's no rust on them.
Is it close to Halloween?
I mean, it's
No,
pretty
it's
strange
February.
the bolt being not rusted when the house also shares.
I hadn't actually put a
clothes.
time frame for this, but it's in February. We'll say
Okay.
And it's very snowy and cold out if they're in Boston.
quite possibly.
Which means we should.
No, it
Although
is.
it's a warm winter day, but it still means it's quite cold.
So we should probably look to getting heat in the house if we plan on staying here.
Especially since you've opened up a window.
But we're
You're
not
the
planning
only
on
one who
staying
plans
here,
on
that's
staying
nice.
here, Lazarus. So that's
Not yet.
yeah.
We're being paid to stay here and check the house.
And one of
Hey, you
us
know,
is
there's anything else
out
staying
of
here,
a
so don't
window.
talk
There was
about
nothing
this.
about staying here.
Got a point.
I think we've
The thumping
quite
is still
clearly
going on, by
found
the way.
the issue
Bum, bum,
why
bum,
someone's
bum,
left,
bum,
and I'm pointing up at the ceiling now. I mean, I wouldn't stay here if I had that all the time.
I admit it's annoying.
Yeah, but we haven't worked out how to solve it yet.
It's annoying, but there seems to be nothing wrong with it. Other
Okay,
than the
well,
fact that
before we
it's
start
effective.
saying it's okay, let's investigate before we all get thrown out of
So
windows.
there are 2 more doors on the bottom floor. One leads to the kitchen, and the other one you're not sure on. But I'll go through the kitchen because I haven't actually read the description for that yet. It's a conventional kitchen with an icebox, a wood-fed stove, and an oven. There's also a meager larder. You scare a couple of rats off as you enter. Some of the foodstuffs might be edible because there's canned soup and meat of it in the cupboard you can see. However, there's also a few bottles of homemade wine. There's also a lot of rotting produce which you can tell has been eaten by rats.
Why would the last tenant leave all their stuff? Maybe they left in a hurry.
Okay, that is a bit weird. It looks like they did leave in a hurry. This wine is expensive and well sought after.
And if they left in a hurry, why would they? How could they? They couldn't have bolted things from the outside.
And I mean, I'm also thrown off by now. I'm not a clothier, or whatever you want to call them, but I'm not sure if clothes really. I mean, I've had stuff hanging up in my wardrobe for a while. I don't think clothes mold after only a few months.
Well, they can if they're in a damp area.
Yeah.
Is it damp in here?
Not especially.
Doesn't look damp in here though. Moths,
I'm a bit
maybe?
suspicious too. Maybe we should not stay here for the night.
Wimp!
Thank God.
Does anyone else look around here, or do we think this is okay?
I think we should continue looking
Bear with.
and
All
then
right.
go do some investigating.
Hold on. I'm now just going to ping you the ground floor. There's one door you haven't had a look at actually at this point.
Yeah, we should go look at that.
That,
How
by the
long
way,
is
that by the way is the
emergency
floor plan to the ground floor, which I've just pinged in.
How long are we going to be at the hospital?
I'll let you know on that one. It also depends what they actually decide to do here. To be fair.
Okay.
It says that it's an empty file, Shadow.
That's it.
No, wait.
No, I
I just
see
pinged
it.
you a window, but
Is that stairs?
yep.
So they go down as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm revealing here. But either way, the door to what you guess is the basement is locked.
By the kitchen?
Just saying, do we really want to go down there?
There are 3 bolts on the door on your side.
Okay, look. You used to be a soldier, didn't you?
Yeah, but
I think it's pretty clear. We've cleared our exits, so we now know there's nothing on this ground floor and it's safe to get out. And we know that if there is a threat, it's most likely above us. That's the most important thing that we need to check
Or
right now.
below us. It looks like someone spent
Well,
a
they
pretty
can't-
long
the
amount of
free
How
bolts-
can someone be
Bolts.
down there? They bolted inside the basement if they are.
No,
Yeah.
because they bolted it from their side. Like they left and bolted it in.
We'd hear the bolts if they were coming out.
That's what I'm saying. There can't be anything dangerous in the basement because it's been bolted for however long these people left.
or
The
something's
bolts are
being
on our
bolted
side,
in.
though.
Yeah, something's being bolted in.
Yeah, so there's nothing going to be hiding down. Well,
What if they wanted to keep something down there?
Precisely.
Bolt,
They're
bolt.
trying
Even
to think.
If
let's
there
go
is,
for the house.
okay, listen. If there is someone down there, and we cannot get down to the front door or the side door, there's a window we can jump out of. So I'd rather go upstairs than down
Hold on a
there where
second,
we'd
guys.
basically be trapped. What's the thumping like right now?
It's still the same. If anything, it's
it-
slightly slower, but
Is it above
it seems
us or
it
is
seems
it
to be
around
speeding
us
up and
still?
slowing down in sort of almost semi-rhythmic, making you less and less certain that it's a heartbeat.
Well, I'm agreeing with Marcus. Because the stairs is completely open. There's no way we can block the stairs. We need to go upstairs and we need to check this out.
I have no idea what's up there. By the way, we're all going in blind.
Alright, sorry about that, I'm back.
Yep. No. worries.
Plus, we also need to possibly try and bolt up that window in case someone tries to come in here.
well, you want to reboard it?
Well, it's broken,
Mm-hmm.
and if someone
Well,
climbs in here
there are
and-
boards in the dining room.
Yeah.
Not the dining room. Sorry, the storage room.
Right.
It is pretty chilly out too.
Shall we go upstairs?
Yeah, let's go upstairs.
Alright.
The thumping gets louder as you step up. And it's clearly coming from the end room, which is the only one of these 3 doors you see up there, 4 doors rather, which is open. There's one immediately to your left, and there's 3 more sort of evenly spaced on the way down.
I'm going to draw my gun and open the door on the left and peek through.
Okay. You see a sink, bathtub, and a water closet with an overhead tank. There are some towels and other small possessions in here, typical to a family of 4. A brackish pool of water is collected in the bathtub, and you can hear a faint dripping from the faucet.
Are the towels molded?
A bit, yes.
Oh,
It would
okay.
make sense though because the bathtub is full of water.
I was gonna say if the dampest area in the house didn't have moldy towels, but the kitchen did, that'd be weird.
I'm going to stay in the hallway and keep a very wary eye on that door. Possibly
The door
the-
which is bolted and locked from your side. Well, you
No,
presume
the
it's still locked,
one
actually.
down the hallway, the one that's got the plumbing upstairs.
It's open.
Yeah, that's what you mean. Sorry.
Okay,
You
nice.
said there were. I'm gonna go to the next door and open it as well and peek through.
Okay, the first door. By the way, the thumping is getting louder as you move down.
Okay.
You see a ordinary bedroom with a double bed, bookshelf, and what would be a window view, but it's boarded up again from the inside. There are more crosses, rosaries, and various other religious icons in this room.
What's the state of the bed?
Dylan seems to have dropped.
Yeah.
He does. Pretty much there's just a mattress there.
No sheets or no.
No.
So they took their bed stuff, or this seems to be an unused room, which is weird.
Why would
like that?
I
But then
can't-
why would there be
why would they?
rosaries and a
Why would
bookshelf?
they? Why would they leave in a hurry but make sure to take their bed stuff?
There we go. I'm back. No, sorry.
No worries.
The gateway broke. on my
They've been
end.
exploring the house. They're now on the upper floor.
Right.
I'm gonna go to the next door and open it as well, peering through just the same.
Yep.
as
I will make an observation before you do that.
Okay.
That thumping,
Is definitely
Got-
coming from the last room.
it got faster.
And it
And
is now
it
much,
appeared-
much faster. Bum,
It
bum, bum,
appeared.
bum,
It
bum,
appeared
bum,
from
bum,
other
bum, bum,
other
bum,
sources of like from the sides and below us, but it never got louder until we came upstairs.
As you open room 3, you see
Well, you're getting closer
two.
to it.
You see 2 small beds. You see a couple of small dressers and pictures on the wall, hand drawn kids' drawings of aircraft, cowboys, and Indians, that sort of thing.
So it looked like there was by the state of the bathroom that there was about a family.
You knew there was a
of
family of 4 living here, the Macario family.
Yeah.
But
And-
obviously there were 3 families since then.
That looked like
Bum,
The
bum,
bed-
bum, bum,
bedroom we
bum,
just passed looked
bum,
like the
bum,
master bedroom, and this is obviously the child's bedroom.
bum, 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 bum.
Was that the one with no sheets or anything, or is this a new
This
one?
doesn't have any sheets in it either, actually, but
Is there only one last room?
Oh, we checked
the
the
last
door. Have we
room
checked
is the
room
one
that
where the
was
thumping
open?
seems to be coming from.
Do we want to
We-
go in there?
Is that the one that was already open when we came to the top?
Yes.
Okay.
I won't lie, I don't particularly want to.
At that
That's
point,
always been sure.
I
Bum, bum.
will admit, I do not want to go into that room either.
Coward.
Suppose we should, if we all go at once. Think numbers, I suppose.
I'm staying at the back. I'm not saying that out loud. I'm just doing it.
Okay.
I'm staying in the middle. It's a safer spot.
I suppose I go at the front, being the shitty brave.
Where the people with the guns?
watch.
Alright.
I'll watch.
You
our
go.
rear.
You go in first. I'll cover you from your back.
I'm going in third, so when you guys get knocked over, I can grab you and help you out.
Assuming you're going to get knocked over. Okay. As Benny enters the room, the thumping stops. The room contains a bed frame, bare bed springs, an empty dresser. The window has been completely smashed in, or out rather. And other than that, it just looks more or less the same size and shape as the other 2 bedrooms. There is also an empty dresser as well in there.
So what
Aye.
the hell smack? Oh, I don't
But the
see
bumping
anything.
has stopped.
I want everyone to hold hands.
Um,
Why?
I don't swing that way, fella.
I don't either.
Benny,
Trying to get touchy.
you feel something dripping onto your head.
On my head,
Yeah, something just drips on your head.
Did he go in first?
yeah.
You did.
I put my hand to my head and then bring it in front of my face.
Blood.
Oh, Jesus.
it's
Do I see
certainly
the
red.
blood? Do I see the blood?
Yes, because you're second, aren't you? Your blood is dripping down onto
I'm
him.
going to back up and say, "What the fuck?"
I moved to the side to get away from the blood and look at the ceiling.
The smashed window begins rattling.
Oh, what the fuck?
Everyone grab hands. Grab hands. We'll make sure
Screw that! I'm getting out of here.
we're holding hands.
hold
We're
on,
too
hold on.
wide to fit
TM
through the
Cat
window.
completely off here. Lazarus, who are you? What have you done with Lazarus?
Dylan's just trying to hold a seance.
But yeah, TM Cat back on. Continue.
My idea of holding hands is that then we're too wide to fit through the window.
I'm sure if a bed hit us, we'd probably let go of each other's hands, mate.
The window pane's still rattling.
I think I'm going to investigate it. I warily make my way towards the window.
Are you holding the hand of Connor behind you?
They might be holding my hand, but I'm sort of.
No.
You guys,
Okay.
you guys aren't listening to my foolproof strategy.
As you As you approach the window, make a dodge roll at -5 for being held by Connor.
I'm not holding him though.
Oh, you're not holding his hand. Okay, then
No.
just make a dodge roll. You hear a loud noise from behind you.
Yeah, I rolled 48.
Is that a pass?
Hold on 1 second.
I don't
Dexterity
think. I don't
count.
think it is.
I rolled a 48. My dodge is...
That's the upper floor, by the way. Since I've just pinged that over.
I think my dodge is 40... 45? I don't know how this works.
Let me find it. So double your dexterity. Your dexterity is 30. So your dodge skill, your dexterity skill is your dodge skill is 26. So you failed.
Oh god.
You are knocked out of the window by the bed and
It
crash
wasn't a
onto the
scream.
stone floor outside.
I'm gonna jump onto the bed.
Okay, you're trying to jump
crash
onto the bed. Make a jump roll. I'll just resolve damage for the person who just fell out the window.
I forgot there was a jump.
Take 5 damage as you land back onto the
Spring.
back onto the stone floor.
Oh, I failed. 65.
I look behind us.
The
I'm
three of
going
you
to-
see the bed move and move from out the window. You fail to jump onto the bed, and yeah, you just fail to jump onto the bed.
I'm going to shoot a couple of rounds at the bed.
Okay, handgun.
He's shooting at the bed.
You know Dylan's over there, don't
This
you?
is almost as good as my reaction to it. I'll be honest, because I ran through this session first as well.
I was trying to stop, just grab onto it to see what was moving.
But okay, you fire at the bed. Let me know if you hit both attempts.
Okay, what do
Under your
Yes.
handgun skill, it's a big target, so I'll give you a +5.
under my handgun skill? Okay, I'm rolling a D100, right?
Yep. And a +5 to your skill because it's a large target.
I got a 76 and a 4.
You miss with the first shot, probably in shock. You hit with the second shot. Put a tick by handguns, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, the bed is shot.
Does it do anything?
It just slides back to where it was. The window continues rattling.
All right, holy shit! I'm heading outside. I gotta see if this guy's all right.
I'm gonna follow him outside as well.
Okay, you've run outside the house. You see Benny laid across the floor. He looks in a bad way, fairly bruised, but no glass cuts,
It's just-
luckily.
The window's already broken.
But he could. Expert opinion from the doctor. He could do with going to the hospital.
Well,
We're
I'm
all
gonna
gonna end up in the
I'm gonna check
hospital.
him over. See.
Roll first aid.
Yep. 80. Pass.
Yeah, I was about to say your skill is ridiculous. Restore 1 hit point, but he can still do with a night in the hospital or just to recover.
You sure? How is he? Do I think he's really critical?
Well, he
or-
could, but he's not going to be moving very well until he's had a bit of care. And there is some glass, even if it's not a massive amount, and he's got huge bruises from falling out of a window.
He needs a vacation.
You could do with a look. You could tell we're looking over, and you don't have the facilities here to do it in the middle of the street. I mean,
Well, I'm trying to decide whether it would be alright for me to treat him at my house, so he doesn't have to pay medical fees. Is what I'm thinking.
you remember that somebody else has fallen out of a window and is probably at the hospital, and it might be a good idea to meet up with them at some point.
See if we're alive.
Hint, hint.
All right, hand to hospital.
Okay, you're taking the other car. Is everybody going at this point?
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, is he bleeding?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but he's mostly been treated. He's not going to die or anything. But
Before I leave, I take a blanket. Definitely take a blanket.
He's gonna cover the car seats.
I cover the car seats
Priorities.
he has his priorities.
before anyone gets in the car.
Okay,
Do not bleed in this car.
are you doing anything with the house? Because you've pretty much opened everything.
I haven't voiced it, but I'm pretty certain that whatever's in there isn't a human, so There could be a dead person up in the roof, but
I'm
I never entered the room. Did I see the blood?
No, actually.
I'm pretty shaken up by what I saw.
Even though I was looking right at them.
So you're just
So
going to
that
leave the house
my
as
first
is with
priority
all
at
the
moment
doors
is
and the
making
window
sure
open.
this guy's all right. So I'm definitely taking this guy away. I don't know what the rest of you are doing.
Well, presumably.
Yeah, we're all going.
Okay, you're going. I just asked whether you were leaving the house as is.
Yeah.
With all the doors open and things.
Oh yeah.
I ain't bored no windows.
Well, I didn't get that, but all the doors are open, so...
I think the house can protect
I'm pretty
itself.
sure if someone goes in there, yeah.
They won't stay for long.
Okay.
I'll close the front door behind us, but the side door will still be open.
I think the side door was closed, just unbolted.
No, I opened it.
Oh,
Well, no, it was closed, but it's not locked.
Okay.
I'm not locking it because I can't lock it from the
You
outside.
you meet up in the hospital and, conveniently enough, get the same room as another person who fell out of a window today. The six of you have met up in the
Strange
hospital.
coincidence.
Is this the window ward?
Haha, very funny.
It's now getting to about 3 p.m. at this point.
I noticed that it didn't scream like before.
They, yeah, the doctors want to keep both of you overnight. If possible.
I'm gonna
but
stay
they're
at
not
the
gonna, they're not
hospital.
going to force you.
I'm gonna stay at the hospital as well.
I don't
Took
think
you guys
I don't
long
think
enough to
we
get here.
Can we?
Gotta make sure that these idiot doctors don't do anything wrong.
Well, he
I
probably
reckon
can
to
if he
the
wants
others
to.
they do a bit of investigation.
Yeah, I think we should go to the mental institute. Where
I
they
mean-
That's a good idea. Actually.
Well, I'm curious. Does this hospital have a psychiatric wing?
No, they've been sent up to the sanatoriums.
Okay. How far is that from the hospital?
It's a few miles outside of Boston, but maybe a couple of hours drive.
Okay.
Shall,
So
Well, I'm
so
staying in
we're
the
all-
hospital to overwatch them.
Okay.
since you guys are staying in the hospital, shall we wait a day before we do anything? Before we go to the sanatorium? I mean,
No,
it'll be
I
open
think-
tomorrow.
I think we can probably go and see what we can find out while they're resting and
Yeah,
come
but
back for
we
them.
could go like the library or something and try and look up some newspaper archives or something like that before we go there.
Might be best. You could maybe try to find a central location for us all as well. Because I don't think staying in that house is going to be viable.
No.
Not for tonight, anyway.
We're certainly not staying in any beds.
We better stock up on coffee.
You're certainly not staying in some beds. Doesn't seem like you can climb into them.
Me?
No.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
doctor
if we're
over
sleeping in
here.
that house, I'd definitely not calling that room.
Okay. So, which of you going to the sanatorium, which of you going to the library? Or are you going to do one and the other?
Go to the sanatorium.
I'll go to the sanatorium.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to the sanatorium, all those who aren't hospital bound.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just find that.
Zilly can go to the library if you want.
Wait, I'm staying in the hospital.
We can divide and conquer.
Yeah, you said you were
yeah.
staying in the hospital, but
Yeah.
you-
I'll just
you-
make sure.
I'll
they've
go
got
to
it
the
fairly in
library.
hand. You don't necessarily have to.
But if
Well, I'm going to fill them in on what's happened anyway. As
well,
well.
one thing that I
Over
do
the
want, there are things
But-
that happen differently in each occurrence. So discussion between you guys is good.
So I would say I'm staying and doing that and watching over them.
Okay, there's not really a need, but okay.
I'm gonna go to the library.
Right.
We're gonna go to the sanatorium.
Oh, but aren't you driving? It's a 2-hour drive.
She can get a tractor.
So a 12-hour drive.
Hey, I've got a beefy tractor.
I'm fine. I think we all have to go to. No, we're all going to the library then.
Okay.
Let's take Marigyn's car. I asked Marigyn for Jim for his keys. Can we borrow your
I'm-
car, Jim?
Probably half doped up in a hospital bed right now.
You are half
I've just
doped
come
up.
out of surgery.
So
can
you're
still
very
ask him.
compliant. You're very compliant, so you give me your keys,
You
right?
haven't been doped up, and they've said they'd like to keep you overnight, but they're not going to force you to stay.
And you're not in condition to
I mean,
drive.
you do have Lazarus with you. If he's not compliant, you can still get the keys.
No, I will give Debbie the keys, I suppose.
Well, you-
Not that I particularly trust her, because as far as I know, she's the one that knocked me out the window.
Especially since there's a scream beforehand.
Well, I can
there is a
confirm her
street.
story anyway. I can confirm her story at this point.
Okay. So, library first or sanatorium?
I'm taking.
I want to check the sanatorium.
Jim's
Or are you
car
splitting up?
with Connor to the sanatorium.
I'm
We're splitting up.
splitting up.
Okay. Zelly, we'll resolve Zelly going to the library first because that's pretty much round the corner and down a couple of streets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what are you going to be trying to find in the library? Any references to the house or?
Yeah, I mostly want to see if there's anything in the news about why they were put in the sanatorium, which could give us some clues about what happened to the kids.
Okay. Can I have a library use roll from you?
You may.
And let me know what you
I
got and whether it's a
six-
pass.
I got 16 and that's a pass.
Have a tick against library use. This will take you 4 hours in total.
Okay.
But so we'll resolve the Macario family at the sanatorium first. You arrive at the sanatorium at about 5 p.m.
Okay.
The Roxbury Sanatorium, a few miles outside of Boston. It actually looks like one of a nice. It looks like a reasonably nice facility. You guess it's probably new.
Okay.
How new could we guess?
It adds to the base
Oh.
chance, by the way, Snoopy.
Oh, okay. I'm going to sort my characters yet.
But
Within the last 5 years, I would imagine.
either way, it looks fairly nice and new. Everyone's clean on the inside. You come up to the receptionist. And may I help
Okay.
you?
Yes.
Yes.
We're
We're looking
Okay.
for the
Macario.
looking
family.
for Gabriella Mercario.
She leafs through a quick book. Macario. She flicks through quite a lot of pages at this point. Flicks through a few
We're
more.
raiding.
She then goes down the list and finds the listing. Yes, I haven't had any visitors in some time. The police are the last ones to visit her, almost a year ago at least now. May I ask your relation to Miss Macario?
We're investigating a case along the matter.
She blinks at you a couple of times. You
We don't
don't,
like
you don't
anyone
particularly
looking
look
at
like
me.
policemen, if you don't mind me saying so.
We're private investigators now.
I see.
Ugh.
Do you have a? Can you show me your license then?
How would I roll to deceive her?
That'd be
Persuade
fast.
her.
You can fast talk her if you want to try and blag your way
Yeah,
through
Could
it.
you, could you possibly do...
I'll roll that then.
Okay, fast talk roll.
All right. Let me get my.
I said, could you do credit rating? Could you do
Credit rating could be possible
have-
in this case, but it depends how. If he said he was trying to just.
Okay, I'm rolling a D100, right?
Yep.
Wow.
You just seen any...
I critically passed. I rolled a 0, apparently.
Wow.
Is it 0-0?
Yeah.
That's a
No,
fail.
it's a-
You got a natural
No, it just
100.
no. Sorry, it just says 0.
Yeah, that is
it
a
just says-
100.
Oh,
That's
I
a
thought
critical
0
failure.
was 100.
no, it just says 0. 1 0.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that is 100. Double 0 is 100.
No, he got single 0.
No.
Wait, it says.
On a 100-sided dice, with both results are 0, that counts as 100.
Oh, it says nah.
The lowest result you possible is a 0-1. A 0-0
Oh.
is the full 100. That is.
It just
critical
says
fail.
0. I actually think it derped.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, there's an error. Sorry, I'll reload the page. I got a
Officially, I should
70.
count that as 100, but I'll let you have a reroll.
I got a 74, which fast talk.
0,
It's a
5 by
fail.
default.
Yeah.
Something
I
like that.
realize you went crazy into first aid as well. You're almost as good as I am. Are
Are you
Still
remaking?
my
You
character.
can't. You rating your character at this point? Yeah. Any percentage was an increase on whatever was already there. It's basically you're adding your points to that stat.
So base 30 plus 70 is 100, but you
But
can
you
only
can only go
have
up to 99. Okay.
so
I'm
69.
afraid unless you're a relative or police, I cannot admit you.
Would I
Not-
be able to bribe her?
I'm sorry, madam. I'm sorry, ma'am. This gentleman here is my colleague, but Gabriella is my second cousin. I was hoping to visit her.
Make me a fast talk roll.
Me?
Yeah, you're trying to convince her that you are a second cousin.
My D100.
Yep.
25.
She gives you a look as if she knows you're lying.
Now, while she's distracted, can I roll a sneak and see if I can sneak past?
You
If
don't
she's
think
not
it's
really
possible.
distracted.
That's what I already tried
Yeah.
to ask Shadow.
Okay. I guess not then.
Well,
No.
you guys are standing right in front of her talking to her. You can't try and sneak right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's quite late in the day. I suppose I can see if she's available. If you would wait here, please. She nods
Thank
you
you.
towards a couple of chairs.
Thank you. I go
I'm
sit
going
down.
to take a seat and thank her.
She quickly goes into the office behind. You can see her chatting to a couple of the orderlies.
Okay.
One of the orderlies comes round and steps in front of you. I understand you're interested in talking to Miss Macario.
Yes, sir. She's my second
Yes.
cousin.
Quite. I'm quite familiar with the family background, and she doesn't have a second cousin as far as I can tell. Nevertheless, if you will explain why you are here, I may be able to answer some questions, if you so wish.
Well, we've been hired by a nice gentleman to look into a specific property that she has been connected to. We'd just like to ask her a few questions about the property.
Oh, the old Corbett house, isn't it? Yes. Well, I can't go into very many of the specifics, but she's in a very, very delicate state. And I don't think talking about the house is necessarily the good thing for her. If you're a relative or had a message from a member of notable repute, maybe I could allow it tomorrow. But today and tonight, I cannot. Is there anything else you would like to know?
May I visit your facilities for a moment before we leave?
Facilities?
Yes.
This is a sanatorium, my dear. If you're trying to commit yourself, you'll have to convince me that you're insane and you
No,
don't
the
particularly look
loo.
it.
The
The
loop?
facilities
That's
is
in
the loo.
France.
Debbie, I don't think you need to ask to use the washroom.
Well,
He
to
points
get past
to the washroom,
security,
which is
I
in the
do.
hallway. And there's enough orderlies that you're not going to be able to sneak in, by the way, if that's what you were thinking.
Are there any closets nearby that
She could have
perhaps
Possibly,
contain-
but you're
through the
being
vent.
watched.
Well,
You two
can
are
Connor make a
suspicious as all
distraction?
hell.
I'm just gonna say thank the orderly and wait for her to come back.
Can Connor make a distraction while I sneak?
I'm not going to make a
Sound-
distraction. I'm being watched. No
Maybe
way.
you're being watched and you're not being allowed anywhere near anywhere you can get to the people.
I have a criminal record, and I don't think I'm going to want to get involved because one little thing and that's it.
Why
He's
would
already
you
said
claim
he has,
to be
he
an
has said you can
investigator?
come back tomorrow. He has
Yes, he
said
did.
that. He won't allow that if you're trying to sneak. He's not going to allow that if
Alright.
he's trying to sneak in. But if you
Alright,
want to
I
carry
got
on with
you.
this course of action, go ahead. But it's not going to work out.
Okay, I'll go to the bathroom and then I'll come back out and we'll leave.
Yeah. I would stay away from that house if I were you. Off
Why?
the record,
Do you know
the
anything of it?
Macario family isn't the only instance we've had here of people visiting there.
Have you
know
had
of
other
anyone
people
else?
admit it?
That, as I said, is all I can say. But I would just stay away from it. It's dangerous.
Hmm. Were the Corbett's
He
the
referred
first to
it
live in the
he referred
house?
it- He leaves. He's not talking to you anymore. But he definitely referred to it as the Corbett house.
Yep, I took note of that. Alright, let's head back to the library with Zelly and see if he's found anything else for the
Okay. You arrive
Alright.
just as he's finished cross-referencing and has various newspaper articles that he's found in front of him. It's taken you.
Stop breathing into your microphone, by the way, Connor.
Oh, sorry.
It's taken you a few hours, but and no, they haven't, Marijan.
Nah.
The history of
Does
the house
anything
is found in
have-
what you've been able to find it. It was part of a row of houses that was built in 1835 by a prosperous merchant. He falls immediately ill and sold it to a Mr. Walter Corbett. In 1852, Walter Corbett was sued by his neighbours who petitioned to force him to leave the area in consequence of his habits and inauspicious demeanour.
When was it built? Sorry.
It was built in 1835.
1835.
In 1852, he was sued by his neighbours who petitioned to force him to leave the area in consequence of his various habits and inauspicious demeanour. In 1866, we've gathered that Corbett won the lawsuit, and his obituary in 1866 stated that he still lived in the same house. You also find reference to a second lawsuit that was being waged to prevent Corbett from being buried in his basement, as was written in his will. There is no outcome to a second lawsuit that you can find. The will was officiated by a Pastor Michael Thomas, who you found out in a random other news story, was arrested and sentenced to 40 years in prison on 5 counts of second-degree murder. He escaped from prison and is currently fled the state. There's also something about Chapel of Contemplation you found, but you haven't found any other information on that. And now the others have arrived.
When was it that he died?
He died in 1866.
Was it in the midst of the second lawsuit?
There's no outcome to the second lawsuit at all, but it was being waged against him to prevent him from being buried in his basement.
What's the name on the lawsuit? It was filed by who? The officiator of There's
his
no
will.
particular name.
No, it's the will that the name was linked to. The will was written by Pastor Michael Thomas of the Church of Contemplation, and as he said, you found out he was sentenced to 40 years in prison on 5 counts of second-degree murder, and consequently escaped and fled.
Well, who? I'm trying to find out who wanted to prevent the guy from being buried in his basement.
You know they'd be very long dead by now, though.
And it's, it's the
but-
community, as far as you can tell. By the way, that's Zelly who's found out on you at this point.
And it's been officiated by the pastor.
No, in his will, he wanted to be buried in his basement. The will was officiated by Pastor Michael Thomas. You don't know the outcome of the second lawsuit, which is what he was trying. They were trying to prevent him from being buried in the basement.
Yeah. Okay. And something about a chapel of contemplation.
That's a reference. Pastor Michael Thomas was the head of it, apparently.
Okay.
I finished my drawings out of character, by the way, so Shadow can distribute those as appropriate.
Yeah, no.
Alright, I was just doing sketches of people being knocked out windows on my notepad.
I was sketching the house.
This is... Yeah, thank you.
Are we in art class?
Apparently we're in
Do I
art
have
class.
to explain it all to them, or did they know from you?
Well, it depends what you want to say to them, but generally speaking, yeah, they've arrived now. So you can present your findings.
Okay. Do we find anything about Corbett in the name Corbett in the articles?
Corbett?
Corbett is the name of the person that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we find anything about Macario in the papers?
I didn't know. I just found
This
out
is
a
just
lot
the
about
library, and
house.
these are the newspaper clippings. There might be some that the papers withheld, possibly. I mean, there were lawsuits being charged, so the Hall of Records might have something.
Was the merchant's name Corbett? Was that who it was?
No, Corbett was the person who bought the house originally. He was the first owner of it.
Did they list the name of the merchant?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is Pastor Michael Thomas still living?
He escaped from prison in 1917 and fled the state. He's still missing in at large, apparently.
If we can find the Chapel of Contemplation, we might be able to find someone he's in contact with. Well, he could have been a 20-year-old pastor. Who knows? Not every pastor's old.
He'd be about 90 right now.
That was only like maybe 40 years ago. If he was 20, he'd only be like 60.
So what are you going to try and find out now, or are you going to call it a
I
night?
think we
like-
should.
I'd like. Is that me or them?
Well, in
how
general.
late is it?
It's about 7 p.m. now.
I'd like to stay a bit longer and try and look up some occult stuff regarding the activities that was on the house, the screaming, the bed, the pounding.
But you don't have any clues to go off of. All you have is, a bed and getting thrown
That's
out.
why.
of
That's why I want to look in the library.
How about the...
There's no such thing as Google
I can't
these
say
days.
anything,
so-
so it doesn't matter.
I'm in a library.
so-
See, that would
I
make it
know.
so much easier if we had Google.
I know,
think-
but
you
you
think
can't
so,
type in
but-
keywords like bed, blood.
That's
you know.
why it takes me 4 hours to find things.
Okay, I'll.
All right, I'm gonna look through the articles and see if I can find any information on Pastor Michael Thomas to ascertain whether he might be alive now.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna look into the
you guess
game
he's
as well.
alive now. It was only 3 years ago
It'd
that
be
he
pretty
escaped
much
from prison.
impossible. It'd be pretty much impossible to find any records after he escaped from prison, because if they had records,
But you can search him.
Well, no,
you can
there'd
certainly
be a police
look up.
search record.
You can
Well, I
certainly
can
look up the
find-
If
pastor.
they told me any of this information...
You're in the
By the
room,
way.
presumably.
you're not in the group.
No, okay.
Oh no, actually you're not. You're in the hospital.
No, yeah, I forgot. I forgot that the library's not attached to the hospital, is it? It's quite
No,
a
it's
bit
a,
away.
it's a couple of streets down the road.
Never mind.
Which hospital do you know has a library attached to it?
Most of them.
Most of them. But anyway,
Really?
Yeah.
But not for
Yeah.
public use.
so can I have library use roll from Debbie, and can I have? I'll imagine because you've got library resources available, you can have a secondary occult roll for your search on that.
What does that
I'm
mean?
searching for. I'm helping Debbie search. So
Does that mean if I fail my first roll, I can do the second one?
Basically, because you've now got library resources and you're looking up specifics, I'm going to give you a new occult roll for that since you're in the library.
Oh, so I have to roll 60 instead of
So
65.
it's a occult roll here.
Yeah,
I
Shadow.
got 70.
I got a 6 and I passed.
Shadow. I'm helping Debbie. Do I have to roll as well?
Roll your separate library use skill. All right, Debbie, what did you roll? Sorry, a 70.
78.
Okay. What did you roll for your occult?
I
I rolled 6 and I passed.
Put a check on that.
I failed by 2. I rolled a 27.
Okay, it doesn't necessarily failed in library use doesn't necessarily mean you fail. It just means it takes you a lot longer.
Okay.
It's
Did I
it's
fail?
almost midnight by the time you eventually correlated everything about the past that you can find in there. Meanwhile, from what you've gathered, in your occult roles, you've gleaned possible information about poltergeists. If they're triggered by a horrific death normally, so it doesn't necessarily fit, but they are known for from moving objects around. It could also be, spirits of the house, I suppose, or overall nothing very conclusive.
Okay, so I've mainly just...
It might. All you gained is that it might be a
It
poltergeist,
could be poltergeist. Okay, I got it.
but that would require a horrific death, which you've not found any evidence of.
But there is a slight link with Michael Thomas and his 40-year murder charge.
Yeah. You found out that Reverend Michael Thomas was the pastor of a chapel of contemplation, Church of Our Lord, Granter of Secrets, in the Registrar of Churches. The church was closed in 1912, but you found out where the site was, and it's not too far from where you are. It also notes that there was a raid by the police. However, at that point, the records sort of stop. It's either been expunged from the records, or you have to have police records to find the specifics. But there was a raid on the church, apparently, and as I say, it was closed in 1912.
Okay.
You guess it might be related to his 40-year sentence for 5 counts of secondary murder, but you can't prove that at the moment with what information you've got. It's now midnight.
Did I
Guys.
find anything in
That was
my
the
search?
things that you found.
That was what you found.
Oh, okay.
That's what the two of us found because I was helping you.
But you now know where the Chapel of Contemplation was.
I would like to go see where the Chapel of Contemplation was.
I will remind you, it's
Maybe we
midnight.
should-
I'm going to go to the
We
hospital.
should go back to the hospital and just.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to stay overnight at the hospital, or do I have to
You
leave?
kind of work. You could stay there, Theory, but you might want to go back to bed. And,
Yeah, okay.
And try again
What
Yeah,
I'm
time
gonna
is
go
it
home.
now?
It's midnight.
I'm gonna get some
Midnight.
of my
Ah.
I'm gonna hook up some of my medical supplies after seeing the injuries that 2 of us have suffered already. I'm gonna come
Yep.
a little more prepared tomorrow.
I'd like to go to the hospital and ask if Dr. Hawker is around.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
See if I catch him in time.
Okay, I'll go to the hospital with them and rest up for the night and start fresh in the
You're
morning.
not resting up in the hospital. You're not ill.
Yes.
No?
They throw you away because you're
I'm
not.
just going to see if I catch Hawker before he leaves.
Because you're not after a patient, you eventually manage to catch Hawker.
Okay, so I think. Are you going home?
Well, I'm going to need to rest up for tomorrow.
Well,
I mean,
I'm gonna head.
I need to think about what's happened today.
We've found quite a lot of information. Should we all get together as a group and tell it before we go to sleep, or should we?
Well, you
wait?
know, 2 people will be discharged from the hospital tomorrow, so you might as well meet back up at the hospital in the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm quite exhausted. We
They're
should
probably
head back
out
to
of it
the
at this
farm.
point, so you can probably
should
go
head
over
back to
things
the farm.
briefly with me, but
No. Well, we'll wait till the morning.
Okay,
I'll go.
day 2. The 2 people in hospital both heal 2 hit points from medical care. The 6 of you meet up in the hospital waiting room just outside.
Did Lazarus's injuries heal?
Yeah.
By 2 points.
Oh, actually, no. Hold on. Lazarus's? No.
They were small wounds. So
No,
when
but
they
you don't
now-
heal. It takes a week of rest to heal a hit point naturally.
Oh,
So you healed 1 from first aid, though.
yeah.
But it
so
takes
hang
like
on. Do you have
5.
3 hit points?
I have 6.
Okay, 'cause you said you lost 2/3 earlier when you took 2.
Yeah, I
damage.
hit. I said I lost a third.
Oh, okay, it sounded like you said 2/3. Right.
Anyway, the 6 of
I
you
was
are
really
outside
thrown
the
off by
hospital.
that.
I might have said. I might have wanted to said 2/6 instead of 2/3, but
That was weird.
Hmm.
Right. So where are we?
You're outside the hospital, all 6 of you.
Well, I,
Oh,
for
that's
one, will never ever look at a bed the same way.
You were haunted by horrific nightmares of your bed throwing you out a window.
All night.
No sanity checks from throwing beds yet.
No.
So how about we compare stories about what happened to us to make sure our experiences are all lining up?
Well, I did that with you lot while I was in hospital. Well, I did that with the 2 people in bed anyway.
Way to
yeah,
roleplay it.
Roleplay. Well, I stood outside and watched the bed throw Benny over here out of a window. Then Hawker tried to jump on it, I think?
yes, he
I don't know
did.
what that was.
I watched it. I went in behind. I don't know his name.
Benny.
He's new. I went in behind him, and this blood like came from the ceiling and landed on his head.
Hang on.
That was
Hang
Yes,
on.
it happened to me too.
Well,
I'm
I
all
don't know if
blabbering
it was
about it. I didn't
blood.
see any
Whoa.
blood in there.
Whoa.